with a match.
Did you light it in one place or in many places?
I lit it in many places. I've always lit it in many places, so it would burn in many places.
Look at those birds.
They're flying very high.
Yes, they are. Where have they flown from?
They've flown from the north part of the United States.
And where are they flying to?
I don't know. More birds flew over this place last year. There aren't so many this year. I wonder where the others are. Hi,
What do you have there?
I have some oranges.
May I have one?
Sure. Here. Have more than one.
Gee, thanks. Now how many have you kept?
I have 1, 2, 4, 5 oranges. So enjoy your 4 oranges.
4? Wait a minute. You gave me only 3.
And I kept 5. So you must have 4.
But I don't. I have 3.
3 plus 5 equals 8. Where's my other orange? Did they cheat me at the store?
Look in the bag.
Oh. Here it is. I have it.
Good.
I'm leaving. Goodbye.
Hey, you're leaving early today.
No, I'm not. I usually leave at this time.
What time is it now?
It's 8 o'clock.
What time did you leave yesterday?
I left at 9 o'clock.
So you're early today, right?
No. I've left at 8 o'clock every morning this month. But yesterday was different. Yesterday was a holiday, so I left the house late.
Oh, I see. Do you swim here often?
Yes, I do. I've already swum here 3 times this week.
Really? That's a lot. I swam here yesterday, but I didn't see you.
That's right. I didn't swim yesterday. I was shopping.
You can set your boxes and bags on the ground.
What?
You might drop your boxes and bags. You should set them on the ground.
Oh, okay. I've set them on the ground. Now what?
Now you can get your keys out.
That's right. I set them on the ground, and then I got my keys out. Good thinking.
What are you doing?
I'm riding my bike.
But it's late. It's hot now. It's already 11 o'clock.
That's okay. I like the heat.
When did you begin riding this morning?
I began riding at 10:30.
Really? Not until 10:30? Have you always begun to ride so late?
Yes, I always have. I like hot weather.
Well, enjoy your ride.
Thanks. Bye.
That's my baby.
My
baby. She sets this room on fire.
Yes, she does. Yeah. To yours truly, Brother Preach. See her right there? That's my girl. She makes me feel. She makes me feel. I don't know how else to say it, but say it like this.
You make me feel so new. Man, the way you feel without dancing the things you do. And I'm so in love with you. Make me feel so new. Man, the way you feel without dancing the things you do. And I'm so in love with you. I love the way I feel. Yes, baby, I love it. Yes, baby, I love it. Man, I gotta tell you, I love the way I feel. Yes, baby, I love it. Yes, baby, I love it. Man, I gotta tell you,
So sexy, so right. See the walk, watch you shift. So right. See the love, come on, give it. Bring the vibe, let's live it. I crave it, man. So the more we build, we're stronger. The vibe is good to last longer. Come on, baby, let's get crazy, get married, have a baby. Wanna know how you make me feel? Here, my lady.
you gotta hold on. Baby, don't know what you do to me. I want you to know you're a part of me. I'm so in love with you, girl. You make me feel so new. Man, the way you feel without dancing the things you do. And I'm so in love with you. Make me feel so new. Man, the way you feel without dancing the things you do. And I'm so in love with you. I love the way I feel. Yes, baby, I love it. Yes, baby, I love it. Man, I gotta tell you, I love the way I feel. Yes, baby, I love it. Yes, baby, I love it. Man, I gotta tell you that.
Come on, babe, let's take a ride. Yeah. Just trust, you'll be alright. Yeah. This the place, let's chill. Yeah. This vibe is so real. Take your hand and tell you how much you mean to me. Press my heart to bring the real out genuinely. Slow the pull of rain out, watch the eyes sparkle. Hear the joyful shout and the legs tremble. Even though at times our bond tumbles, Christ kept us good, had bad troubles. Take this as a promise to be faithful. Pop the question without sounding too humble.
You make me feel so new. Man, the way you feel without dancing the things you do.
The things you do.
You make me feel so new. Man, the way you feel without dancing the things you do. And I'm so glad I love the way I feel.
Love the way you make me feel.
Yes, baby, I love it. Yes, baby, I love it. Man, I gotta tell you that I love the way I feel.
The way I feel because of you.
Yes, baby, I love it.
So much.
I love it. Man, I gotta tell you that I love the way I feel.
Dedicated to my queen.
Yes, baby, I
Love you,
love
baby.
it. Yes, baby, I
Yeah.
love it.
Love the way you make me feel.
I
Oh my goodness. Welcome everybody. I hope everybody's having a fantastic weekend. And I know it's almost over. Hopefully I can close this out for you in a very, very entertaining manner. I hope so. Yeah, I know I got less facial hair. I just noticed it myself. It's kind of weird. Anyway, it's good to see everybody. Oh man, Betty's at it again. So I was going on about my day, and and I get a message, and then I decide, all right, let me take a look. And the more I listened, and I was catching this live, and the more I listened, oh, thank you, good call, thank you so much. Hold on a second. Appreciate that. Oh yeah, that's no good.
Now that must be much better. That must be much better. So anyways, sorry about that. I've noticed that Betty's getting a little out of hand. And then this got this thing happened, and I was watching. I was like, yo. And me and Toast got to talking about it. And so I knew I was going to go over it tonight. And so I decided to invite her on. And guys, Toast is here. Everybody say hi.
What's up?
What's up, Toast?
What's up?
I don't know if Toast can hear me. I hope she can hear me.
Yeah, I can
I
hear
hope
you.
she knows she's on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I heard you giggle.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Now we're good. Because I was about like, did I not turn on my headphones either? I was like, no, I didn't. I did because I was listening to everything else through my headphones.
Yeah, I'm Thug Toast today since she had some things to say.
Thug Toast.
Beautiful. She was at a beautiful, what looked like a beautiful beach, and she had to go live and share her wealth with everyone.
I don't even know, like, I mean, you know how I do. I just randomly like just click on her shit. And but this was what I know we're gonna go over was pretty, because we were kind of watching it at the same time, and we were like, what?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised, but I was like, okay, this is typical.
Thank you, Jasmine Grace. Did you make up with Critical K? What? Wow.
Thanks.
Yes, guys, again, $5 does purchase you stupid questions in my chat. You are encouraged. Just so you know, $5 does purchase you stupid questions in my chat. Well, thanks for being here, Toast.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you know how we do. These are a lot of times impromptu. You being here was more impromptu than me even going on.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you're here, and I think this is going to be fun.
Yeah, I think so.
So, yo, that wasn't even on purpose. That wasn't. Before we even hold on, before we even do that, I got to point this out because this was hilarious to me. There we go. Dude. Yo, blank screen just kills me, dude.
Oh my God.
Are there really any stupid answers, or some questions inherently stupid? $10 gets you stupid answers.
Or are the people themselves inherently stupid in the case of Laura Betty?
There you go. You got
It's
a
one of
smart
those-
answer.
It's one of those crazy questions like, do you tuck your shirt in your pants, or is your pants tucked in your shirt? We don't know.
Crazy. Yeah.
So
that's
crazy. We don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the chicken or the egg thing for people
Right.
like this. Yeah. Because I even commented, I had to, because I was like, dude, this. I've been trying to place it. Like, I've been trying to place it. That is exactly like the celebrity face that I was trying to compare it to. I'm like, what is it? What is it? What is it? No way I would have ever thought of this. Like, Blank Screen nailed it as usual. Well done, Blank Screen.
I mean, she's kind of morphing into him, so
like more and more, you know. I mean, I guess he's a product of Sunburn being you know, on a uncharted desert isle. But yeah, let's get right back to the to the originally scheduled programming here.
Just to spice things up for Easter this year. So I really do hope you guys have fun and enjoy it. Now, this is what I'd like. This is what I'd like. I have to be honest. I did buy a bottle of wine. I did.
Shocker.
Cheers. You got to buy all this stuff and you don't really need it. You know, you just buy it to help, right? You'll get something for your money, right?
Totally.
So we
Pause
got
it for a
a
second.
nice
Yeah.
bottle of wine.
Yeah. You read my mind.
So, yeah, I don't believe that she just bought a bottle of wine just to help the kids. It's for the children.
Right.
I bought wine to help
I-
all the kids.
I say produce this bottle of wine on the fly. You know what I mean? Because I think she was just like, you know, I'm going to get hammered. And, you know, I'll pick up an extra bottle of wine and give it away. But let's ease into that real quick. Let's let this go.
Wine.
Because usually I react to these things, but I confess I saw this earlier and I was just, yeah, I'm going over this.
And so I want you guys to take pictures of your Easter dinner.
Yikes.
And don't put anybody in those photos. That your names won't be, we'll call you by your first name, or you can give me a name to call you by. But if you don't want your family in those photos, don't put your family in the photos.
Right.
But send in your photo of your Easter dinner this year. And what we'll do
now, this sounds really, really nifty so far, but wait.
Is we will vote on the best presentation, and one lucky person will be a recipient of that bottle of wine. Now, I have to check.
Okay, she has to check to see if she can mail it. But you would have to give up your address to a known doxer,
correct,
to get that bottle of wine.
And even if you don't, the fact that you are sending pictures to a known doxer who hangs around with people who dox entire families, they can absolutely dox you just by seeing what your room looks like, your furniture, season, the weather outside. Like, they absolutely can get a picture and then dox you from there.
A piece of mail laying around, whatever. Yeah, like
anything they will dox you.
You've got to be a fool if you're giving away your address to YouTube creators who you don't even really you don't know any of us. You don't.
Yeah, don't. I mean, I don't ever ask for addresses, but don't ever give me yours either. Like, I don't want it.
Yeah,
ever.
I can't imagine any scenario where I'm going to ask for your address. I can't imagine any scenario where I even do anything to where you would have to give me your address. This is, and notice it's always the doxing channels who do it. Could that be a coincidence? I don't think so.
And isn't it a coincidence also is that she went live right after I post my community tab post, where I basically said that she had a couple of channel members who had been having discussions with me. And I don't know if you read my community tab post, but she now knows that there are channel members on her channel that have been having discussions with me in private, back and forth via email and DMs and stuff, defending her, saying, oh, well, she's not racist. She's not racist. And I'm like, okay, we're going to agree to disagree. And that was that. And then they saw her stream this morning, the one that she did before this sunburn version, video. They now come back to me and say, okay, we get it. We've changed, we changed our mind. We get it. And the point that I make in my community tab post, it's like, it's one thing for me to give them video after video after video proof, but some people, it takes for them to see it themselves in real time before they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it now.
Yeah, I'm looking up your community post here. Is it the most recent one? I wonder if Bullhorn Betty realizes that for a while now, I've been privately discussing back and forth with some of her own channel members who are defending her, saying she wasn't a racist. I said to them that we are going to have to agree to disagree on this topic. I also wonder if she realizes those same channel members of hers have now started messaging me saying that after Bullhorn Betty said that little Indian girl, wow, Jesus, and that Indian bullshit about me today, they have now changed their minds. It's one thing for me to present evidence to people. It's another when people see it for themselves. Each and every time Battery Betty thinks she's winning, she only shows more of who she really is. Don't they all do this, though?
Yep.
Thus proving all of these channels correct about her behavior. I love that because it is so true. Those soon-to-be former BHB channel members will probably never be a sub of mine, but they are definitely moving on to other real true crime channels that don't use their platform in this way. I wish them nothing but the best, and I appreciate their integrity to have civil discourse. As many have said before, Betty is losing what's left of her real subs and gaining those that only watch her for her histrionic, unhinged rants and unscrupulous Karen antics in public. Very true as well. P.S. I love how I spent the day with my family and she spent the day worried about YouTube drama. She couldn't even participate in her beloved political activities without going live to say she wasn't bothered about the YouTube drama.
Yeah.
You can't make this stuff up. PPS. Thanks for playing the word game, Betty. It bodes well for your vocabulary. Oh, shit. There we go. Give it a like. Yeah, well written. Because that's extremely true. I have a theory on this, too, because if you notice, she just tends to she really wants to latch on to those racist creators. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she really wants to hang on to that what's that word I'm looking for? I don't know. Camaraderie. She wants to hold on to that camaraderie with those people. And now, I mean, Dolly, I don't know if he's necessarily a racist. I don't remember if I've ever seen any proof of him saying anything racist, but he's definitely said a bunch of ignorant shit. And a lot of it's right along the lines with what she says, what MGL says, JLR, and I'm wondering, I was thinking about this today. I'm wondering because they all seem to have this whole fuck it attitude lately, right? Like kind of
They
collectively.
really have. Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
It's almost like they're like, we don't care if we burn our channels down to the ground. We're just going to pull the mask off.
See, I have a theory. It's a loose theory, but I was thinking about it today. And pull the mask off, just say screw it, because one of them probably, and if I had to guess, I'd say it was either JLR or MGL. But one of them probably was just like, look, we're not the only people who think like this. Let's stop denying it. Let's just be who we are, and we'll collect followers that feel the same way and think the same way. Because to them, a number is a number. They don't care what kind of followers they get,
Right. They
so,
don't.
So
I think that eventually Bullhorn Betty will care. I don't think they quite grasp the thought of what's actually happening right now with her channel, but I mean, eventually she will figure out that although she lost 200 subscribers and then now she's gained them back, the 200 that she gained back are not people interested in hearing her drone on about reading an article that's true crime.
Right. And what she's doing now, yeah, it's really funny because what she's doing now, or what it seems to be, is now she's saying more about her politics. She keeps bringing that up more and more and more and more. The politics. So I think she's trying to attract that type of person, and
Yeah.
she's because these people they say the most racist shit you could think of, and then they deny being racist whenever they're confronted about it. No, I'm not a racist. No, I'm not a racist. No, I'm not a racist. Yet,
Oh, did you hear it? Her so somebody, I guess, in the comment, because I didn't watch it live because I was with my family, because that's generally what people do on the weekends. They do stuff.
Right.
They are outside. They do a bunch of stuff, right? Because it's the weekend, and so I missed it live. But she was reading off somebody's comment. She didn't put it on the screen or anything, but evidently somebody was like pushing back on the racist stuff that she was saying, and she's like, "Oh no, it's okay. I'm Apache." I was like,
what?
I was like, of course you are. First she said Cherokee, and then she was like, oh no, wait, actually I'm Apache. And I was like, right, of course.
She
Sure.
couldn't think of a more believable. Yeah, I mean,
because
like,
geography is a thing.
Right. Yeah, okay, you know exactly what I'm getting at. I mean, she's in Seminole country. You know, she could have said that. It would have been way more believable. It still wouldn't have been believable. It would have been more believable than Apache or Cherokee. You know? Oh, God, she's an idiot.
Right.
Check to make sure I'm able to mail.
Oh, so sorry. What I was getting at was, I feel like, I wonder, yeah, like I said, I feel like maybe they're just looking to, they just don't care anymore. I feel like there was a behind the scenes conversation that took place, and right now MGL in the position that she was in, not being able to stream, probably had a conversation with them hoping to not burn her bridges. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm just theorizing and spitballing and speculating, but I wouldn't put anything past these people at this point.
Bottle of wine. I think I am. But I will check to make sure I'm able to mail that bottle of wine. And if I'm not, we will make sure we get you a bottle of wine delivered to your home. So that is what is up for grabs.
So a raffle. Got
Easter dinner. And I'd love to see the presentation of your table. So all of those that would like to participate when Easter.
You know why I find this funny, Toast?
Huh.
Because when have you ever seen her like make up a table to serve a big dinner? And
never.
You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing about any of her content that would indicate that she takes an interest in what she's requesting right now.
Right.
Ever. There's never been.
Yeah, somebody asked if this is Bartos. Yeah, this is Bartos.
Yes.
Somebody was asking if Toasty is Bartos. Yes.
Beautiful photos up, and the audience will decide. Bullhorn Betty is not going to decide. We are going to let you guys pick the best winner, and whoever is the winner of that gets that bottle of wine. Now, if you don't want the bottle,
she's so gonna dox somebody, dude.
Wait a second. How is she gonna have her audience vote? Is she putting these pictures on her YouTube channel?
Of course. That's the
Oh my
I mean,
God,
she would have to. She would have to. She would have to be like, this is the third runner-up, this is second place, but this one wins the bottle of wine.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's exactly what her plan is. It's so messed up.
Bottle of wine. Give it away to a friend. All right, give it away to a friend. So I just want you guys to have fun with it. I want you guys to be able to do Easter on a budget and have a wonderful, amazing time with your family, with all this craziness.
Why did she say Easter on a budget? Like, does that mean,
don't
like,
know.
like, was that her way of like subliminal messaging, like just kind of playing Jedi mind tricks on her audience, like Easter on a budget because you're going to be giving me most of your money? Like, wow.
and all this hate, we want to show a little love. We want to show a little love, and we want our audience to participate and have a lot of fun for the Easter holiday. And I can't think of any better place for that bottle of wine to be than in your hands after you get done pulling your hair out, getting either Easter brunch or dinner prepared.
Now, I take
That's so weird.
I have taken jabs at her appearance many times, but this is not a jab at her appearance. This particular thing that I'm pointing out, I mean, because I know a lot of people have pointed this out today. It's the sunburn. Okay, like the sunburn is.
It's pretty bad.
If you're gonna wear sunglasses the whole day on the beach, you got to put on sunblock, because that's gonna happen. What I'm taking a jab at is her lack of intelligence. She lives in Florida. She knows this. You know, like, it's not like she's not. How when she showed up to Idaho, I kind of understood, like, oh my God, it's cold. I mean, dude, you saw snow on the ground. It's going to be cold. But at the same time, I get she's out of her element. You know what I mean? But here, why would you not have enough common sense to just put on some sunblock on your, or at least just not wear sunglasses so you burn evenly? I don't know.
I don't get it. I mean, it's yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't get it.
It's like, I can't, like,
This is going to give her the texture of that other guy that Blank Screen put out on his channel.
Yeah.
This is how she's morphing into that guy.
If we were scientists and this was actually our job, like it's her job, like, we would work in shifts. We'd be working in shifts trying to understand her.
So those will be coming in to the Bullhorn Betty channel. I will make sure I remind you guys as the Easter holiday approaches. But what do you guys think about that? Do you guys like that? Do you like that idea?
This is so fake.
Joe want actually just put a high five. Put a high five up in the chat if that's good for you. Or a thumbs up. My birthday is on Easter this year. Well, happy early birthday, Kathy. It's nice to see you.
Bro, this shit takes a hard left turn.
I don't
in a
enjoy the
second.
holiday much since my son passed. Aw.
Right there.
I'm so sorry, Misty.
Now, this is funny to me. Now, it's not funny that somebody lost their kid at all, much less on Easter. But she has somebody in her audience that points this out. And what Betty does here, welcome, Jenny Beans. What Betty does here is, as usual, the wrong thing to do.
Right.
She doesn't show any genuine empathy for this woman at all. I find her response really just so Betty.
You know, sometimes it's not about, you know, it should be about the holiday, but it's not about that. Maybe just get together instead of enjoying, just try to find a friend. You know, everybody.
Jesus Christ.
What?
So Betty's solution is get you a substitute, you know, for the loss of your child.
Yeah, no, fuck coping mechanisms, right?
Yeah,
am I right?
Right.
Just find something to replace that feeling.
Exactly.
Wow.
Not Jesus. Yeah, I'm sorry that holiday, I can only imagine, you know, just be honest in that. I mean, but I don't think that she would be honest in saying that. So that's probably why she didn't think of it.
I think with people like this, and what I mean by this is narcissists, just to be clear. It's like they don't know how to be genuine people. And so it's like she's trying to fake what she thinks empathy is. But in reality, she just comes off as super cold. Yeah. That's kind of how I view this.
Yeah, I see a pattern with her. It's say something shitty due to the lack of ability to feel empathy, get called out on it, then try to walk it back somehow and then dig herself even deeper. This is what seems to happen consistently with her.
Everybody needs somebody in their life. We all need a good friend, right? We all have a girlfriend. I mean, heck, I was such a tomboy when I was growing up. Dudes were my best friends up until middle school, and
God, how many
after
times are we
that, I
gonna
had
hear
to
this?
start hanging out with girls and stuff. Yeah, I think the bottle of wine would be nice. It was a great cause that that was purchased from.
What?
I gotta say, it was pretty cool.
What the
That
fuck
last
did any of that have to do with anything of what she was saying? None
Nothing.
of that went together at all.
Nope. She had to turn it around to start bragging about how she's such a good person. You can dox children and then the next day use your subscribers' money to then donate the money to a children's charity. Right. Okay.
Exactly. And where was the remote, even the remote relevancy of being a tomboy in any of this?
I have no idea.
What in the
Like
fuck?
at some point in this video, I don't know where it is, but I heard her, she just randomly started talking about how she comes from cattle ranchers. I was like, what? Okay. All right. Do you? That's cool. And then she just like uses that to justify what she's going to say next. She's like, well, I mean, I come from cattle ranchers, therefore, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what?
What did she do? Get out of the pen?
I don't know. I don't get it. It's like when her mom joined her panel and was like defending her behavior when she was attacking an SA victim. And her mom was like, you come from a long line of preachers. It's like, what?
That's not a great defense there
It's
at
not
all.
what you think that is.
Wow. Yeah. Jesus. Yeah. Keep turning the other way, Mom.
last night was pretty cool, and I just can't believe the graciousness of some of these people. Some of these people ponied up $5,000-$10,000 for these kids,
And
it was
they
just,
didn't
Oh my God.
have to
dude.
put it on YouTube. Imagine that. She had to have a selfie as she steals the centerpiece off of the table.
These people are killing me in the chat too, man. Like Bathtub Mary said 2% cow. Like
She needs to make a t-shirt. just like Mallory did.
oh my God. Oh my God. Jackie Garnett, thank you so much. Could it be she thinks she's tanned? Yuck. No, that's not a tan. Like, notice she's got the lights off. Like,
I don't know. I swear, if we could have pulled, some kind of money like that in for them, I would have loved to. That was amazing. Like
I was dry begging.
I was in awe. They did a really good job, and it was all the teachers. It was the school that put that together, and they just did an amazing job. And I have to tell you, when we walked into the dining area,
dude, like that is. Doesn't she get that? Like, it's just a bad look. It's just how you social media nowadays.
Right.
It's just a bad look to brag about doing something nice. Taking pictures and posting it. Blah blah blah. Just it really takes the piss out of it. Like, I don't understand her.
Yeah, somebody in the
area
chat.
where we all sat.
Let me go back to it. Yeah, Runs with Scissors made a good point. She paid $125 to donate $225. Yeah. Because you had to pay for a ticket to get there. And the crazy thing is like she was like, it's a red carpet formal event. And in her selfie, I'm like, but you look like you're going to a cookout.
Right.
To a kid's birthday party. Meanwhile, their lady in the background is wearing a formal gown.
What?
Yeah, like I can't. And I figured there's a content creator, Crimes and Fashion. I know she's going to have something to say about that picture. I don't get into that of it, but
Crimes and Fashion will probably, yeah.
She's going to say something about that. Stripes are not your friend, boo-boo, okay?
No, God, yeah. Like, you don't show up to a red carpet event dressed like you're going to Epcot, bro. Like,
sat. I didn't realize. I thought the man that was singing at the microphone, a gorgeous singer, had this beautiful voice, and he was by himself on his guitar. And I'm thinking, oh wow, they got some live music here, you know. So naturally you think that they hired that music to come in. No, that is their music teacher. And he was stinking good.
I hope so, if he's teaching kids how to play music.
She's doing the same thing that MGL does, is that she starts giving all these details about something that has nothing to do with the topic, nothing to do with what the person originally said to her or asked her. And she starts giving all these crazy details to derail the conversation because she doesn't want to deal with the fact that she has a subscriber that's telling her, hey, I had this family member die on Easter and it reminds me of them every year, looking for some sort of empathy from her. And instead she has to make it about herself.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. It and you know that these are these types of people, man, that are donating to her, that are just sitting around because they've got money and nobody to share it with, you know, and they're just lonely people. And they just look at her for they just fall for her bullshit. And they just want to do something, you know,
Yeah.
and it's just so sad. Yeah, just, and who knows what their circumstances are, you know. Sometimes maybe they're just shitty people who nobody wants to be around, you know what I mean? But the fact is that these are usually people who are, you know, down and out in some way, shape, or form, but for some reason have money that they can donate to her for her bullshit that is absolutely useless and pointless.
Yeah, somebody's like, can you please talk about all the crap on the bed? I was just looking at that. What is going on there?
Yeah, at first I thought that the bed was stripped, but I guess that's the pattern of the covers.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But yeah, dude, like, what is going on there?
It's a bunch of cords and stuff. I don't know.
That's YouTube donations right there. That's all just a pile of YouTube.
That's a good point. All of that was paid for by her subscribers.
Exactly. That's how she takes care of it. Nice, Betty.
Like, we had a concert there, and good music, you know, upbeat music. It wasn't, you know, just weird music. It was newer day music. Well, maybe not newer day.
What do you mean, bro?
Newer
what do you
day?
Rewind for a second. And
she
said it wasn't weird music. Like, what do you mean? Like, why would you expect weird music? And what do you mean weird music?
I don't get it. I don't get it. And when she first said that, I was like, what does that mean? And then I was like, why is she even talking about this? It was just, the whole thing was weird. And she will say things like newer day music. And she'll say things I've never heard anyone say before. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but she says things that are just so odd, the way that she phrases things sometimes.
The word, Betty, is not newer day. It's modern. Say it with me. Modern. There you go. I can't talk. I have brain farts all the time.
Day, I'm starting to become antique. I'm starting to become a chic antique.
A chic antique.
I think we all are. Don't lie.
You not
you chic antique.
That's not what chic means, though. What? Come on, Betty. I was really rooting for you. You did bode well this morning in her stream. I was like, yes, she said the word correctly and actually used it correctly in a sentence, sort of. But I was like, yes. But now it's this again.
I'm guessing she heard somebody say it in a TikTok video or something, and just is misrepeating it, like misusing it.
Antique too. I'm not taking all this all by myself. We know we got some antiques up in here. Who's an antique?
Oh my God. Your entire audience.
The antiques are up in here. If you're an antique, put a 1 in the chat. If you're an antique.
Bro,
What?
I gotta see this
Oh,
chat.
well then I got to put a 1 in the chat because I'm becoming an antique.
Bro.
I think I'm truly
Everybody,
becoming older
bro.
than dirt. Don't tell anybody. Oh, that's right. I just told the whole world. I'm on YouTube. Forgot. And if I didn't
No,
tell the
all
whole
one.
world, all the haters will.
All ones. Everyone in her
It's
audience.
All the
It's
haters
so
will.
bizarre what she thinks that we're going to talk about. You know, like I was actually going through a stream she did earlier this week, and I hadn't had a chance to actually sit down and listen to it until this evening, preparing for my stream tomorrow night. And one of the things she says in there, and I'm going to say this again tomorrow night, but she goes in there and she's like, yeah, you know, burnt toast. She doesn't say burnt toast, but she says, yeah, that gluten person. She means me.
What?
Yeah, she was like,
because she thinks that you're liberal and right. Okay.
right. She was like that gluten person, and I was like, what? Okay. She's like, yeah, that gluten person. What did she say? Totally lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, she was like that gluten person's. I bet you $1 million. She's so predictable. She's gonna make a video about all the times that I said I was gonna move on from the drama. And I didn't even see the video until the entire weekend was done. And I look back and I'm like, I didn't even want, like, that would never even be a video that I would want to do because it's not funny. And
we do it anyway. Like every time she goes live, she says that.
right.
Like, it's already covered.
And she was like, I guess her point was, she actually says that she's a puppet master and we're the puppets. And she's playing us like violins, and that she was like, you watch, Burnt Toast is going to make this video, and it's going to be a video on her channel about how it's going to be little clips of me saying I'm moving on over and over and over again. And I was just like, it never happened because that's not funny. And the only reason why I even posted the video about her false striking me is because I get an email from YouTube saying that she had tried to strike me and YouTube told her to stop. Otherwise, I wouldn't have even posted anything. So I was like, wow, okay.
So much fun when that happens, dude. Especially like if you're live and it happens. Oh my God. Yeah, like the bitterness shows and it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's all you're doing. You're just showing how fucking salty these people are.
It really
like,
is.
What else did we have? There was something else that came up. So we got some antiques up in the house. You know what? I wonder if we went to the antique road show. I wonder how much we're worth.
Yikes.
Oh.
Apparently only $100. Because that's all it took for MGO to give it to you before you started attacking
how much
Queen
we're
Bee.
worth.
Yeah. Hold on, we gotta see this.
Oh God.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
It takes on a whole new form.
I'm gonna be going to the antique road show, and they're gonna be like, "What's your antique?" I'm gonna be like, "It's me." What do you think it is?
A lot of cobwebs in that, huh?
My word.
Totally.
And then he's gonna be like, "You should have cleaned this before you got here."
All right. Now we know. We know now. Bullhorn Betty is like, oh, truth. All right, guys. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. I just wanted to start talking about a new case. I wanted to get us geared up for the week. And I have to be honest with you.
Here we go. Here's the bridge into the shit show.
Yep.
For my true audience, not these haters and trolls and POSs out here, but for my true audience, you guys know we don't do drama. You guys know that. We don't like going into the drama. I just don't like.
Every time she says that, like, she's like, she even titled her video, her live from like yesterday, the day before, drama.
Right.
Like she put drama in the title.
Yeah, it was like
Like,
true crime with a side of drama. And I was like,
yes,
this is why your subscribers are leaving you because they're
right.
telling you. Like there was somebody, a channel member in her chat today that says, please get back to true crime. This is not good for my mental health. And was literally telling her, I can't do much more of this. And Bullhorn Betty was
Wow.
just like snipping at people. I was like,
Yeah, I
wow.
mean, somebody in her chat's bound to have like some sort of like trigger when it comes to, you know, like back and forths, because the truth is she's always been like lying about not doing it, and then once in a while she'll snap and do whatever, but then she'll be like, "Ah, I'm sorry, we don't do this here." And then, at least she'll set herself up for her chat to be like, "We get it, a person can only take so much," and blah 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 blah. But now it's just like, I don't even care. I'm just,
Yeah.
I'm going after everybody. Oh, beware my wrath.
Well, it's crazy because I don't remember which stream it was this week. I think it was the one that I was looking through tonight. She actually says that she doesn't care if her channel, I think maybe it was this stream, I don't know, maybe earlier, but she says that she doesn't care if her channel has to get some consequences for all the stuff that she's doing. That in other words, and I had never heard her say that before. And I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
This gets crazy here because she starts. That's really the reason why I wanted to cover this.
Yeah.
I don't like it because I just find it unnecessary. It's just a waste of time. And you know what? Life is valuable. Life is short. I've got more things to be doing. You all have more things to be doing than getting into petty back and forth drama that gets nowhere, doesn't accomplish anything. Many of you guys know I really am an efficiency and effectiveness type of person, and we just I like to stay busy, but I don't like to waste my time. Right? Why don't I like to waste my time? Because I wasted a lot of time in my last life, right?
Wait, what?
I wasted a lot of time.
Her last life. I love
a cat?
that. That's one of her favorite, right? Because that's actually more believable than what she's really referring to is the life that she led before that she doesn't seem to take any accountability for.
Right.
I mean, because she could just be like, yeah, I fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, I had a completely different outlook on life 10 years ago. Totally different. And it's not a hard thing to admit. You know what I mean? Like I had a shitty sense of entitlement, and it happens, and you're not aware of it, and then you get in a position where you're forced to be aware of it. But she is put in this position on a constant basis and never takes advantage and never makes any steps to get better or be a better person or change. She just doesn't. And everything is somebody else's fault. Everything that she says in the past life, she acts like she survived it and she was the victim, which is just
Insane.
the opposite.
Yeah, it tells me that she didn't learn from her mistakes. And what's even worse is that now she's saying that she's the same person she was when she was a teenager. I mean, she said that several times in the stream that I reviewed on Thursday, that she is the same person that she was all these years ago, and that was somehow a flex. And I was like, that's not a good thing though, Betty. That's not, you shouldn't be a stagnant person.
At all. Yeah. Like there's, I had a friend of mine who just a couple of years ago, he passed, and he disappeared off the face of the earth. This is a guy that I was good friends with for a good chunk of my adolescence, and we got into all kinds of shit together, and we lived on the street together, but the thing is I grew from that, I grew from that, and I grew from the drug use and like the bad drug use and whatnot, and then I had my son living with me as a teenager. And this guy comes back into the picture, but his Facebook, like, of course, we found each other through Facebook, and his Facebook just completely indicated this guy has not changed at all. I was like, holy shit, this guy is like 40 and he hasn't changed in the slightest bit since we were 19.
Wow.
You know? And then he asked me for a place to stay, and I had to deny him. And this is a guy that I could say actually in some ways took care of me because he was a little older. And he took care of me while we were on the street. But I had my son living with me, and there was no way I was going to put my teenage son in that position. It would have been a bad move, you know? And I had to tell him no, you know, because this guy had no interest in changing, and he was mad at the world, and everything was everybody else's fault. And I wasn't even going to have that around my kid. You know what I mean? That's just a bad example to have around. This woman has not shown any difference from that at all. It's crazy to me.
People in the chat are asking how old she is. She's 43, and she will be turning 44 later this year.
Wow.
Yeah, she's 43.
I mean, yeah. And this guy actually passed on. I found out just a couple years ago. It's crazy. Because he just wouldn't change. You know, it was just one of those things where you were like, I could see it happening, you know, and sure enough, it does. SW4x4 Explorers, thank you. I am still stuck on you saying BHB is 42 or 43. No fucking way. I am 58. I look better, in my honest opinion. I'm not going to doubt you there. Thank you so much.
Time that I can never get back. So I don't want to waste any more time on nonsense. I have been fighting my whole entire life.
But
I don't want to.
Betty.
Fighting her whole life? What?
The thing is everything that she's doing is nonsense. That's the reason why we review her. Like, everything that she does is absolute nonsense. And here she is saying, I want to get back to, I don't want to deal with this nonsense. I want to get back to what I was doing before. But what she was doing was absolute nonsense. It's the whole reason I talk about her.
It's crazy because, I'm like you, like I'm very transparent about what I do in my channel. And it's like, if you're going to lie and then try to cover up, these things, and then worse, attack other people for things that you did do and are currently still doing, then I'm probably going to review you. And the crazy thing is that if she would just stop lying, I would have nothing to review.
Yeah.
But she keeps lying, and it gets worse and worse. And so it's funnier and funnier.
Yeah. And I totally agree. Yeah. I mean, it's always going to be content as long as she just keeps doing what she's doing. And she doesn't seem to understand that. And take Mallory, for instance, right? Her channel is doing great. Big shocker there. I called it. I knew that was going to happen. And her channel is doing fantastic, right? But I have not reviewed her because I haven't seen her or heard her do anything consistent with what she was doing before.
Same.
Yep, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I actually wish her channel well. If she's doing,
she needs to leave families alone. Like there's no reason why she can't talk about cases or whatever. But when you start showing up at people's houses and hindering investigations, showing up at children's hospitals, saying some racist ass shit,
trash talking victims,
right? And that's going to get her reviewed again. But yeah, like what she's doing now, I don't watch her. I don't review her anymore because she's not doing the fuck shit.
Exactly. Simple. Brianna, thank you so much. My husband had to ditch his lifelong best friend when we were in our late 20s because we reached a point we could no longer allow him around our kids. He just refused to grow up. I feel you on that. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Emily Biz, thank you so much. I am in shock. She is 42 or 43. I'm 44. Wow. Curious idea. Thank you so much. Why crack is bad? You get a VHB crackhead.
To be fighting. I just want to live in peace and do my job.
you
That's
don't.
all I want. And it's not for everybody.
No, Betty. What you want is to not have any consequences when you victimize other people and call it work. You just don't want to be bothered with it. You don't want to be faced with the fact that you're fucking with people's lives.
Somebody says, do you think she knows she's lying? It just seems she has no clue. I don't know. I don't know about that. I think the jury's still out as far as me, but I do think that there's a lot of times that she just lies because it's second nature to her. But there are other times where she is intentionally dishonest. She's doing it on purpose.
Oh, totally.
So I think there may be a little bit of both. Also, she doesn't want peace in her life. She craves an antagonist. And which is why she won't do her, like, she can't do her channel without having somebody to be like, I'm suing them. If you notice, there's always one person that she keeps focusing on. So right now it's Queen Bee. Before that, it was, I think, you again or something, or somebody else.
Yeah.
Before that, it was Monty and his 2 minor children, because she thought they were mine. Before that, it was other people. Before that, it was Creed AF and his family. Before that. So there's always some antagonist that she has where she's like, that's my focus right now, right? And after Queen Bee, there'll be somebody. She's already talking about other people on Queen Bee's panels now, wanting to dox all of them. And it's like,
yeah,
she's just going to jump from person to person because this is what she does.
Exactly. You said that she craves an antagonist. Yeah. And my theory on that is, because I do agree with you 100%. My theory on that is she deep down subconsciously knows that she is naturally an antagonist. So she's always trying to find one to make herself appear as the protagonist.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. Right. So I don't mean that the people that she's going after are true antagonists.
No, I wasn't saying that either. Yeah, I wasn't implying that either.
I just want to be clarifying also for the audience too. Like, she's not, I don't think that any of the people like Queen Bee, myself, you, any of these people are actual antagonists. I think that she tries to play the victim to be in the opposite position to make everybody else the antagonist, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. That's what I'm saying is it's about her wanting to feel like the protagonist, so she'll create an antagonist.
Correct.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Else to give me permission to do my job the way I want to do it.
I can never ever get over her calling that her job. It never gets old to me. Ever.
It is, I do it. If they don't like it, they don't watch. That's typically how this thing works.
That's
it's not that,
how,
oh, you don't like what I'm doing, so you're going to.
That's totally not how it works.
No, she still has not figured out that this is YouTube. And it's the same with TikTok. It's the same with Twitter. Any social media platform. There is no such thing as, oh, if you don't like me, don't watch. Like, there's so many people that will say that, but this is social media. There's always going to be people watching you. And it's kind of counterproductive to her channel growth if she's constantly telling people not to watch. And she also doesn't understand the whole tagging channels and titles thing. She views tagging people's names and titles as stalking and harassment, but YouTube views it as, this is how you keep your channel in the algorithm. So the idea of her being upset because people are hashtagging her name is just absurd. It just shows how little she understands about how any of this works.
Well, first of all, I totally agree with you. She because she's contradicting herself, because here she is getting upset about people. Now, in this particular video, she seems to have cut out. Remember, she was tagging so many people on every one of her videos
Do
and
you think
never
she-
mentioning them, never.
Do you think she got an email from YouTube? Because I'm wondering if this is the first time I've ever seen her not tag all those other people.
Right. Right.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, because I was like, look at other watch, and all she did was tag the cases that she's covering and true crime community. I mean, those are all valid things to tag if you're covering a
Yep.
case, and she did cover this case. I
Yep.
mean,
So that
you
is the
know,
correct way of using
right.
hashtags. Right. Yep.
right.
It's the first time I've ever seen her do it correctly.
Same.
It just took her, 2 years?
See, we're fair here, folks. But her getting so upset about that is funny to me. She also when she sorry, I'm having a brain fart. I got distracted by something in chat.
Yeah, my brain is like, it's late.
Right.
I've had a long day, so.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the case with me
Force
too.
me
I
to
don't usually go on this late, but I went to the gym late and
change. You do not have that right. Nobody in this world has that right. And if they do have that right, how would you like me to tell you what to be doing with your life?
You
Okay.
do that all the time.
all the time. All the time. But see, I'm not telling her what to do with her life. I'm telling her that she sucks for not giving a shit how her actions affect innocent people.
Correct. Same.
That's it.
Yep,
My
same.
only interest in reviewing, and I want to be very clear about this again for everybody listening, my only interest in the people that I review are the people who are possibly and have been detrimental to crime cases. Some of them still open, and actually, I think all of them are still. And that's what pisses me off. Honestly, if she's sitting here shit talking other channels and blah blah blah, and that's all she's doing, I don't really give a shit. But she keeps showing up to these places. She keeps grifting money out of people who donate money to her when she says she's going to go one place and she's not, and she ends up going to another, and she's just basically ripping people off, which is and as long as she's doing what she's doing, I'm going to review her, period.
Same. Yep.
But as far as her differences with other creators, unless she's doing fucked up shit to them, I don't care about her dynamic with other creators. But of course, what she's doing is fucked up shit. Because I mean, I just think it's really funny. Like, let's say Queen Bee is this horrible drug dealer, right? First of all, there's no evidence to say that she sold to kids.
Right.
And another point that I'm going to make about that is how many drug dealers who sold drugs to kids based on her evidence of how somebody sold drugs to kids, how many drug dealers who sell drugs to kids did she put money in their pocket when she was using drugs?
Right.
You know what I mean? So she doesn't get to throw stones at anybody for being a drug dealer.
And that right there is exactly why I talk about her criminal record, because there's been a few people that have kind of bought into her narrative. They're getting confused and they're like, oh, well, you know, well, you talk about her criminal record. And I'm like, no, you're not understanding why we're bringing it up.
Exactly. Like, we're not doing it to just be like, oh, she sucks. Look, it's like, if she didn't say everything that was so hypocritical, and the reason why we know it's hypocritical is because she has this past that she does not take any accountability for.
Yep.
That's the whole point. It's a credibility issue. It's not a credibility in the sense that she had a past and she fucked up. It's the fact that she doesn't own it.
Worse, then she goes and says, oh, well, this family involved in this crime, look, they do drugs, they have DUIs, they're the devil. And I'm sitting there like, bitch, you have like so many DUIs right now. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
And that's why people talk about her record. I don't care about her record just to be a dick about it, right?
Right.
But we talk about it because of the double standard.
Because it's relevant to the point, the overall point that we're trying to make when we review these people. It's absolutely relevant. Jackie Garnett, thank you. Betty needs YouTube boot camp. Doubt it will work though. Love you, Will. Love you too, Jackie Garnett. Thank you. I mean, there's as far as like DUIs, not only, I mean, even if she tried to say, well, you know, that's in my past, you guys are throwing my past in my face. No, we're pointing out that and the fact that you did a live stream shit-faced drunk saying that you came from the bar.
She actually admitted to 2 DUIs that night. She just didn't get caught.
Right.
Because she said that she was already drunk at home, and she drove drunk from home to bar number 1, had some food, some drinks, drove drunk again from bar 1 to bar 2, had quote cocktails, and then drove drunk a second time from bar 2 back home, and then she hit the live button. She said that came out of her mouth.
Right. And then cracked open a bottle of wine.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yep. And then she deleted the stream and then tried to say it never happened, which is what she did in one of the streams this week. She was like, I'm rarely drunk on here, guys. It's only happened like one time.
I think you
no.
recorded it and I went over it while it was live. Because I didn't know how to record anything yet.
All right. And for those that have kids that need a babysitter, Bullhorn Betty will be happy to watch those kids.
Bro.
What? Why is she always talking about people's kids? Why?
The world has that right. And if they do have that right, how would you like me to tell you what to be doing with your life?
I'm just interested how the transition to that came. Like, she's talking about people telling her what to do with their life, right?
Right.
All right. And for those that have kids that need a babysitter, Bullhorn Betty will be happy to watch those kids. I will.
What?
I don't want to hear any complaints when they come home filled with candy and bullhorns in their hand. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear you guys complaining that your kids are bouncing off the wall, screaming into bullhorn. You knew what you were getting when you sent the kids to me.
Okay. First of all, before I forget this, Bullhorn Betty, Andra, you cannot be like, oh, my bullhorn is my flower, and then be like, I'm going to give everybody's kids my bullhorn. Like, you got to stop with that.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's gross. And why did she start thinking about people's kids right off the bat? Like, right? She went, you're not going to tell someone. Oh, look at the pause, dude. Yeah, she's
when blank screen drops another video.
Exactly. Y'all take your, here you go. There's your screenshot right there, folks. I don't know why she's sitting here and she went from you can't tell me what to do with my life to, hey, if you need a babysitter, Bullhorn Betty will take care of your kids. Like, where I don't understand the bridge.
Me either. It's like her brain is so manic. She's hopping from one thought to another. There's no bridge. She's just jumping everywhere.
That's exactly what happened.
Because it doesn't make any sense to me.
Not at all.
But anyways.
Shit. Never mind.
I just want you guys to understand that I'm sorry for putting you guys through that. I don't do the drama. I don't like doing the drama.
This is always the transition to the drama.
Yeah.
Like every time she's about to go into drama, she talks about how she doesn't do drama.
And that's kind of a tacit admission that she realizes that her subscribers are not happy with her right now.
Right.
I mean, have you seen
Right.
the comments underneath some of her videos? They're not
Yeah.
positive.
They're not. JLR too. And
Yeah,
it's
people aren't
crazy.
happy.
These people like, and they've got this weird as long as we've got each other kind of fucking thing going on. It's so strange.
The drama. I don't like putting you as the audience through the drama. But here's the thing. We've been trying to avoid it. We've been trying to take the high road.
Where?
We've been trying to stay focused on
Right?
the cases.
Where?
And they are literally making YouTube miserable for everyone. Everyone.
Welcome to Logic, Professor Kate.
And so it's just, we've gotten to the point where they're not going to stop. They've proven that they're not going to stop. Even though we've given them all the time in the world just to move on. We have done absolutely nothing to these people. We don't even know these people. I can't tell you what some of these people look like. I literally have.
But she had a lot to say what I look like this morning, didn't she?
Curious idea. Thank you. She went after Queen Bee had the most views. Do the math.
That is very interesting because also in the stuff that I was listening to tonight, the way that Bullhorn Betty was talking about Queen Bee talking about crime cases, even though Queen Bee is very clear that she's not a true crime channel, she's just kind of like, they'll cover whatever they want and talk about whatever they want. It's mostly like they have a panel and everybody kind of sits around and has a conversation, right?
Right.
But every once in a while, they will sort of casually talk about a case or whatever. But they don't like protest or any of that nonsense.
No.
And it was almost like Bullhorn Betty was getting jealous of Queen Bee getting, 1,000 people in her chat or 800 people in her chat talking about this case the other day. And Bullhorn Betty was struggling. Like for instance, this stream that we're reviewing right now, she had 389 people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
That's low for her.
It made me think that maybe part of it is she's looking at other people's numbers. I think that's why she's mad at me, why she's mad at countless other channels, is because all of our channels are doing really well after she has said for months that we would never grow.
Right.
I think that's a huge part of it.
I agree. She fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say again. What was she talking about?
Done nothing to them. My friends here on YouTube have done nothing to them.
Oh, yeah. What I was gonna say was Queen Bee. It's really ironic that she's going after Queen Bee, right? Because it's one of those things. It's tell me you're a drama channel by telling me you're not a drama channel.
Right.
Because she's going after Queen Bee, and I'm not saying Queen Bee is a drama channel, but Queen Bee is not above being a drama channel. You know what I mean? So like they will talk about what the fuck ever, who the fuck ever, when the fuck ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so here she is trying to convince everybody she's not drama, but she's going after this person hard, and all she's doing is creating a dramatic situation.
And look what Bullhorn Betty is doing in this situation. It's a constant back and forth. She is constantly going live and responding to something that Queen says, or responding to something that I say, or something that you says. And then now she's bringing up other people, some who don't even do content on YouTube, and she's wanting to have a back and forth drama with them. So it absolutely is like it's like she doesn't want to admit that she has a drama channel.
And it's simple because she does. People only log on to her for the drama.
Right.
Like I understand that people mostly will log on to me to watch me review other creators. I understand that I get the most views that way. But I still do my true crime stuff because I care about it. And I'm happy for the views that I get on that. But I don't expect it. You know what I mean? I don't expect that to get more views. I understand. Because the majority of my content has been reviewing other creators doing crazy shit. These people, case after case, has given me plenty of content, you know? So, but I understand, you know what I mean? Like I'm perfectly, I'm aware of my channel and what it generates and what it doesn't. And you know what I mean? It's, and all you have to do is be honest about it with yourself and it's all okay. You know what I
Yep.
mean? You're going to have people that are going to watch you sometimes and people that aren't. So what?
Oh, my
Brianna,
channel is an absolutely train wreck. Like it, that's what it is because it's the people that I review. So it's always going to be like that.
right.
And that's, I mean, I love it. I think it's fun. I think it's funny, which is why I do it.
I wouldn't do it unless I loved it and it wasn't fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too much fun. Brianna 25, thank you. After hearing her say the other night that she can't have children, the obsession with other people's kids, but when she had a chance to raise some, she, her own admission, hit them. I don't get it.
So I did hear her say that. And
Okay. I don't remember
so-
hearing her say that, but
So here's the thing. So there was a clip of her saying this was earlier this week. I think based on the context, I don't think that she was saying my children. She said my children, but I don't think she meant my children. It was almost like she was trying to speak for this weird hypothetical situation. So let me just, sorry, I'm not being clear. So she was talking about this friend of hers who has been protesting with her. The video in question was from last year when they were in Savannah, Georgia, and those protesters were getting arrested. And so she was talking about this guy who was protesting with her friend. She was not talking about Dolly. I guess she was talking about somebody else that was out there. And she was talking about how that guy had lost his kids because he had spanked them or given them corporal punishment or something. And that she thought that that was disgusting. And her point was, how are you going to take my kids away for spanking them when Leilani is sitting there not getting arrested? It's a dumb argument.
yeah.
It's ridiculous. It shows how little she understands about the justice system. But it was a weird thing to say, but I think that's the point that she was making, is that she was doing this weird hypothetical for this friend that she has, not that she was talking about her actual children, because she doesn't have kids.
Right.
And even her stepkids, they were in their 20s and 30s. They were grown when she married her husband, because her husband's like 12 plus years older than her. So
Right.
she was like 31, 32. And he was like in his mid to late 40s. He had grown kids. So she never raised his kids. They were already moved out. So there was no like.
So that just sounds like a fight, you know?
Right.
I mean, I don't know.
So I think that it's just one of those times where she's an idiot and doesn't know how to finish one thought and go to a next. And she wasn't clear in her communication skills at that point. But looking at it in context, my opinion is she was talking about her friend's situation and then trying to use that as a jab at the police chief, which is who she was screaming at, to say, oh, you take this kid's kids, take this guy's kids away for spanking, but you won't arrest a baby killer. And that's what she was screaming into the camera. So that's kind of my thought on that. Because I had to go back and I watched the stream just to make sure. And that was my thought on that.
Yeah. Lex Lux, trial tomorrow. That's the plan. I haven't set anything on YouTube yet, but the plan is, and thank you, by the way. The plan is to stream that trial tomorrow if it's available to stream. But regardless, I'll be paying attention to it, and I will go over the details of that trial, or at least what happened. Silly Rabbit, welcome to Logic. Lock Pickens gal, just imagine a cage fight with Betty and Dolly since she scared men and he has a bad history with women.
Oh, I would pay to watch
Yikes.
that.
I already see the claymation claymation version of it. Thank you, Lock Pickens gal.
There was somebody else.
We do not deserve them.
I'm sorry. There was somebody else who said she did admit at one point in time on a live that she did spank her step grandkids. I have not heard that, but
yeah,
I hope that she didn't do that and didn't say that, because she doesn't need to be bringing again, those are not her kids. Those are not her grandkids. She needs to like leave people's kids alone, just in general.
Oh shit. Don't let me forget. I'll go over it. But somebody just emailed me the link to where she supposedly says that.
Oh, okay, cool.
With a timestamp. So
them treating us like this, but they are making our audience and they're making our lives a living hell. So clearly it's not going to stop until we make it stop. There's no asking these people. There's no taking the high road with these people.
no. There is actually. The high road would be to behave like someone who is taking a high road and not doing the shit that we call you out for doing. That's the high road. Not somewhere lower than that. That's not, no. The high road is that, as both me and Toe stated earlier, we wouldn't review you. And by the way, again, I want to be very clear that my invitation still stands. My invitation still stands for any creator that I review to come on here and subject themselves to a very respectful interview, honest questions. And if you do this and you don't rage quit, and you actually act like an adult, and I will stop reviewing you as a result. I will give you that fairness. Thank you. Oops.
So I don't want.
Thank you, Nicole. I hope you two panel up again soon. I'm sure we will. Yeah, this is pretty once in a while thing that we have been regularly doing.
I hate that it affects you guys, but you guys are the ones that are always complaining how nasty these people are on the streets of YouTube. So
okay, so now she's putting it. Now she's putting it on her audience.
Right.
You guys are the ones saying that they're so nasty and blah blah blah. They're only following your lead. Silly Rabbit, thank you. Your channel as well. Your sense of humor. Love your channel as well. Love your sense of humor. Thank you. Appreciate that.
What's so crazy is that her audience is very, very divided. It seems like there's a huge chunk that want her to be crazier and crazier and say more and more fucked up shit because they like the drama of it all. So they're going to leave fucked up comments on my channel and your channel just to keep the drama going because they want to see her do this shit. And then there's another chunk of her audience that doesn't agree with her right now. And they are being very vocal. And I have not seen that until now, where they're leaving comments on her channel under her community tab posts, telling her, hey, you need to move on, get back to true crime, stop doxing people. Why are you feeding into the drama? Don't feed the trolls. You know, they're saying all these things. And it's like she doesn't seem to realize that there's a change in her audience, because the more extreme that she's getting with her behavior, the more I'm seeing her own supporters that are being vocal about how they don't like her doing this anymore.
Yeah, and it also shows that she just doesn't really care what her subscribers think, because you know, she's also the criticism that you're talking about that she's getting, though, that what she's saying right now is a clap back to that. You know, you guys are the ones that say that these people are trash and blah blah blah, and you know what I mean, and not even taking responsibility for taking the initiative of going after Queen Bee and whoever else she goes after.
Yeah.
Patty, thank you so much. Panel is so much better without Monty. Oh man. Yeah, so she's blaming her audience now. And I think it just boils down to something as simple as she knows that it's generating more views. She knows that the people that she is so dependent on, because she's so codependent, those people are all involved in their own crazy drama, and she wants to be somehow, she wants to benefit from it. She sees the benefit from them. She sees them benefiting, and she wants that benefit too. And that's why that's why she's just doing the drama thing and not even like holding back. But now that she's getting criticism, all she's doing now is just addressing her audience and trying to blame it on them and justifying her antics for the last few days.
Let me get there so I don't mistake in it.
This is your show for a second.
I just want to read. Where is it? Give me just a second. Oh, this is the wrong remote. Hold on. Let me get over to the mod squad. And I want to let you know that I talk to my mods all the time. And I tell them, you know, when we're talking about this stuff, I said, I hate doing this. It really does, you know, hurt my heart that I've got to put my channel and my audience through this.
I don't believe her.
If we don't stand up and finally make a stand and say, this is not okay. You know, this is just not okay. If we don't finally make a stand and do something significant about this problem, it is going to continue. And quite frankly, I don't have time for it anymore. I don't have time for it.
She doesn't have time.
It is taking way too much time.
What else do you do? She doesn't do anything else.
Nothing else.
But it's funny because in other streams, she has talked about how she loves this and that she's chomping at the bit to dox all these people that piss her off. So now, she's doesn't like it. And I mean, pick a struggle. Also, I love this version of her way better.
Yeah.
The blurry. Blurry, so I have to see everything. It's way better.
Pixel, the 8-bit pixels.
And everything else. I have a right to do my job. They're the ones that are constantly interfering with my rights here on YouTube. My ability to make money.
If you weren't violent, see, here's the thing: is
oh my god, she doesn't get it.
Not at all, because like if you weren't in violation and abusing your rights, you wouldn't have anything to worry about. You would just do what you do and just not even like fuck everybody. I don't give a fuck what you. I like that's what me and you do,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't give a fuck. Like bring it, you know, because I know that I'm following the rules. You know what I mean? I'm not doxing people. I'm not hurting people. I'm not, you know, I'm applying fair use. I mean, this is
also, I think she has forgotten that this is a private company. This is a private platform. So it's not like people are going to her job and demanding that she be fired like she did to Don Wells and Ashley Furniture Store employee.
Right.
No. See, this is entirely different. She's a guest of YouTube. We are all a guest of YouTube. And you don't get a W-2, honey. So if you don't get a W-2, it's not a job.
It's not.
This constant criticizing, this constant stalking, this constant harassment, this constant using of their platform, not for First Amendment purposes, but for
This is I'm going to speak for myself because this is my stream. I'm absolutely applying my First Amendment rights by doing what I'm doing.
Yep.
I'm absolutely doing it. See, I have not struck Betty. I have not reported Betty. I haven't done any of those things. All I've ever done is review her.
Same.
All I'm doing is expressing my First Amendment rights. I'm using I'm using my First Amendment rights to criticize her abuse of her First Amendment rights. That's in a nutshell what I do.
She doesn't understand that her rights are not absolute.
Right.
So once again, Miss Star Paralegal from an unaccredited quote college should go back and read her textbook again.
DeVry.
Because she wishes it was as good as DeVry.
It's so funny, dude. Like, yeah, like that's you see commercials for that. Like, if you're fucking like jobless and a bum watching Jerry Springer, you know, that's what they. That's their target audience. That's their target marketing.
Yeah, her.
Simple. Right, exactly. Simple Life Days. Thank you. What happened to her binder? I know, I love that. Why does she have a binder when she has like 10 computers that she grifted? Like, hello, you know,
my favorite part when she did that stream and she was like, I even printed and put links in there. I was like, you can't put actual links on a piece of paper. That's not how that works.
That's what one of those computers are for. One of the
They're not
many
going to be able to like tap the piece of paper and it takes you to the internet. What the fuck?
Brianna 25, thank you. She needs that federal judge buddy of hers to point out right to grift on YouTube in the Constitution.
There you go.
Yes.
Still waiting on that name, Betty. Upsetty Betty. Still waiting on the name.
Still waiting on that judge.
For purposes of nothing but harassment, defamation, political assassination.
Okay, for defamation, we'd have to be lying.
Right.
I haven't lied once about her.
Same.
As a matter of fact, even in this stream alone, we discussed how we need proof. You know, like I didn't hear her say anything about hitting kids. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my God, she did. You know, I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I have to be clear. I didn't hear anything about that. I'm not here to spread rumors. I'm here to go over her own words. Paraphone's pomegranate, antagonist binder fund for glare. Thank you so much. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Personal assassination, professional assassination, and there has to be
hold
a
on.
when we
How are we politically assassinating her? Like, listen to the rhetoric. I don't give a shit who she votes for. That's not even what I do on my channel.
Exactly. See, exactly. If she was grifting money from her audience, saying that she was covering cases and investigating, and then uses that money to go to a Biden rally, I would be doing and saying the same things that I say.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with what she believes in. Now, her being a racist asshole, that is something completely separate. Now, if she's putting those things together, that's on her. But I'm not putting that not out loud anyway.
I mean, look at Channy for Christ. I reviewed Channy for Christ for a long time, and she's not a Trump supporter, yet she is a fucking racist and a scammer and an e-beggar and a child abuser. So, I mean, like, there's lots of people on my channel from all different political persuasions, religion, non-religion. It's just those things don't matter to me. But but it's just funny to me that she has nothing left. So this is her latest thing is, oh, they must not like me because of my political beliefs. And I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, I really don't.
I don't care.
Yeah, like she's a drop in the bucket for people who think on a political level that I don't even want to try to ponder. Like, I don't even want to try to understand it. you know, and it has nothing to do with what side she's on. It's just that she's an idiot and doesn't know what she's talking about. So I'm not going to put myself through the torture of trying to understand what her political views are, because I don't fucking care. She's too stupid to even have a sound political view.
Well, right. I mean, the other thing is that I have a lot of people in my chat who voted for Obama and Biden, and others that voted for Trump. I have people in my chat whose name is Let's Go Brandon. And they're sitting there
Yeah.
calling her out because I don't think that she realizes is that there's a lot of people in with her kind of political realm who do not agree with her whatsoever.
You know how many Trump supporters I've had in my chat that say she makes us Trump supporters look bad? You know, that's what
Right.
they word it like.
Yep.
I not including myself in that. I'm not a Trump supporter, but I'm not a Biden supporter either. So
I mean, same. Like I don't like this whole like, oh, you have to be one or the other, the pick a side,
No.
ultimatum bullshit. It's just that's just not real. That's not reality. You cannot like both.
Right.
And I'm one of
Yeah.
those people. I don't like either one. So.
I am one of those people as well. And that's as far as we'll take this political discussion.
Correct.
Because I could go on.
Draw the line in the sand and say we will not take any more.
But I find it interesting that she's
So
bringing up politics, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like what? Because look at where she goes here in the conversation.
I don't want to get into the drama. I can promise you this is probably not going to be the last time that we have to fight back. And I am going to prepare my audience right now that there are going to be things coming out over the next few weeks that are really going to rock the boats of a lot of people. And I know that they are going to most likely, I don't care if I'm frozen as long as you guys can hear me.
Now, this is interesting.
There's going to be some things that are going to rock the boat. And it's going to be a problem. And I expect attacks to come from it.
Okay.
And it's going to be a problem. And I expect attacks to come from it. And that's okay. We will deal with it. But I can tell you, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And I need you guys to trust me that I'm doing this the right way. I'm doing this.
Okay. When she says I'm doing anything the right way, you
Right.
can count on it being the wrong way.
Also, when a little cow says, trust me,
Right.
run in the opposite direction. Run. Do not walk to the nearest exit.
So yeah, that sounded a lot like a threat. And it sounded like she is expecting consequences and is okay with it.
Yep.
Uh,
See, this is what I was talking about earlier. I have never heard her get to the point where she's like, if my channel gets taken down because I'm about to like dox a whole bunch of people and break TOS 50,000 times, then fuck it. I've never heard her say that before because before it's always like, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I don't break TOS. I'm going to follow the rules. And now
Right.
she's like, fuck it. I'm going to burn it down.
right. And this is the same song she's singing in her little group, you know, the same song. They're all singing the same song is what I'm saying. Her, Dolly, MGL, they're all saying this shit, you know? So it's you know what I mean? Like, are they just saying fuck it and we're just, you know, we're doxing people because fuck it, you know?
I don't know. I think that this is why she's been pushing, oh, go to my backup channel. I'm going to build a website where I don't have to abide by TOS. Shh, nobody tell her they have TOS too.
Yeah, I mean,
But that must be why for the last couple of weeks, she's really been pushing for her audience to get ready to jump ship to something else.
yeah, you know, because they keep doing I'm telling you, something's coming, y'all. Something's
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That kind of shit.
Yeah.
And I've heard people do it where they're actually like filing lawsuits, but I mean, she could try to file lawsuits, but she won't win. You know what I mean? But that's not the vibe I'm getting, because why is she saying, there's going to be a tax and that's okay? Like there's going to be something that comes with it,
My
So
interpretation, and I could be completely wrong, but my interpretation based on what she says after this is that she's expecting a tax on her channel, on her main channel, meaning she's expecting to do something so fucking egregious that even YouTube is like, hold on, wait a minute.
yeah.
Like Shanny for Christ, epic, getting 3 strikes in one day kind of bullshit. I hope that's
Right.
not what she does, because I am
Well,
worried
'cause
about the
it'll
family
victimize
she's
somebody,
about to go
right?
dox.
Right. That means that
Yeah.
somebody's going to be victim of it.
Right. And I don't
Um,
want anyone to be the victim of her and
Right.
JLR and all these ICU and Goosey and all these people that dox people and harass children and families behind the scenes. I don't want that to happen. So
Yeah.
I hope that she doesn't choose to do that. But if she does, I hope whoever it is that she ends up doing this to sues her ass into the ground. And if
Totally.
somebody does decide to sue her and they can prove to me that they have a lawyer and it's legit, I will absolutely cash app them money. Stat. For real. I will absolutely donate to whoever decides to take her to court.
Yeah, man. I mean, she's not going to learn until she learns. You know what I mean? And I at this point, it's like, what's it going to take? Is she even capable of learning? Because it's like MGL. MGL. She everybody thought she lost her channel. I was like, no, she'll be back. Whatever. And here she is. She's back. And there's no difference. You know what I mean? There's not going to be a difference. These people always need, because the thing about what these people do, which is really fucked up, it's part of their insatiable need for, I guess, recognition or attention or whatever the fuck, but it's a deeper need than just the shitty things that they're doing. It's
Yeah.
a much deeper need, and getting them kicked off of one platform is not going to do it. You know what I mean? It's not going to suppress that need and their desire to quench it.
It's the legal way, and I don't want you guys being caught in the crossfire, though, because of the despicable people that we're dealing with, you might be.
Now, how would anybody be caught in the crossfire of that?
She is trying to scare her subs into believing that, like, if she doxes another channel creator and goes after their family, that somehow we're going to retaliate to her own subs, which I think is just absurd. All the times that she had, like when she doxed my friend Monty's family and his 2 children, when she doxed Crude AF's family, those 2 channels are in the Lowell's Cal community that I come from. Those are my friends.
Right.
And yet no one went after her subs, as far as like nobody's doxing their subs. No one is doing 5-hour live streams showing pictures of her mods' kids. Like nobody did that. Nobody is doing that. And if I ever see that, I will call that out, just like I call anybody else who puts pictures of people's kids on their fucking channel. Like I'm dead set against doing things like that.
That's right. She doesn't seem to understand that's what we're calling her out for. Like it's exactly this. If you didn't do shit like this, nobody would talk about you.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's this crazy, like, she's got this war mentality, because I'm not in a back and forth with her. You know what I mean? Like, but she's got this war mentality when it comes to being called out on her behavior. Because again, neither you or I just take cheap jabs at her just to take them. We review her content
Yeah.
and the things that she says and make them, you know, like, do you see what she's doing right here? Because I'm taking what she's doing a little bit differently. I'm thinking that she's intimidating her subs in a way. You know, I don't want you guys, because what if she is addressing, if she's still on the same point of you know, that you guys wanted this and you guys needed, you know, you guys were saying to do this and blah blah blah. What if she's still on that point and she's saying, I don't want you guys to get caught in the crossfire of anything that happens, which is almost a threat, you know, not a warning that, yeah, because
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Your theory is probably more likely, but I have to entertain that as a possibility, just considering that her nature of just being a threatening person to begin with, and the fact that she was already pushing the blame on them, you know, for this drama that she's being called out on. What if she's addressing the people that are leaving negative comments? You know?
Oh, I see. Like her own subs that are
Right.
leaving. Okay. That
Yeah.
maybe
And then
so.
saying, I don't know. Yeah. You know, I don't want you guys getting caught in the crossfire of anything that's happened. I'm letting you know some shit's gonna go down.
Mhm.
So kind of like pick a side, you know what I mean? Make sure
Okay.
you're on the right one.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Yeah.
But we are going to move forward because it is not going to stop until it's stopped. So please just understand, this is not what I wanted to do.
I mean, she's right. It's not going to stop until it gets stopped. The problem is that she thinks that she's going to be the one to stop anybody from reviewing her, and she's going to continue to get to victimize people and call it work.
Right.
Without anybody talking about it. That's not, you know, you're not going to make anybody stop because you don't like it. The only way you're going to make it stop, Betty, is if you stop victimizing people.
Right.
Period.
I mean, just think about this. There are so many content creators that do true crime or that do whatever different types of content. And yet you notice how it's people like her and these other people that are victimizing people. They're the ones who are getting a lot of people reviewing them. And it's like they never stop to think, out of the other millions of people, like literally millions of people on this platform that are in multiple other communities, doing other types of content, have channels, you know, we all get our negative comments or whatever. I'm not talking about that. But when they're getting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of channels reviewing them and clipping them and saying, oh my God, I can't believe she just, you know, did this in front of someone's house and things like that, you would think that she would stop and say, oh shit, like maybe it's me because I'm the common denominator in all this. But she doesn't, because I don't think that she's even capable of doing that.
She does not want to accept that the following that she's getting is negative.
Right.
It's just simple, like it is, you know, there's only a certain amount of people that are cheering her on. And the reason why we see more of that is because she has the power to delete comments.
Yes.
You know, I
Yes.
mean, but the fact is, I mean, people with common sense are just like, this lady's an idiot, you know? And I mean, you look at her when she shows up to these meetings, these town meetings, everybody's just kind of like, oh God, her again.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's crazy because people that live in that county, like they're on Twitter just like everybody else is.
Right.
And they all say that the second that the meeting is over and she's gone, they all just laugh at the things that she says. They like all of them just laugh at her. Like she is the joke that everybody talks about at lunch when they're done with those meetings.
Yeah, like it has to be. It has to be. There's a creator named Just Larry who was in my chat when I was like going over one of her town meetings, and he was like, yeah, he's like, I used to be an alderman, you know? And whenever somebody would show up like this, we would laugh at him. You know? It's just so funny. Like, and she doesn't, and she convinces herself that that's not what's going on. She just deludes herself that the it's so weird, her pattern, man. Like she believes that the attention that she gets is positive, but she's aware that it's negative because, and we know that she's aware that it's negative because she tries to control it to be positive
Right.
without doing the work that it takes to actually get positive reactions on YouTube.
And
You know what I mean?
And that right there is why I say more likely than not, she is being intentionally dishonest because she knows it's wrong, but she does it anyway.
Right. Yeah, because she wouldn't lie about it if she didn't know that it was wrong.
Correct. And I have reviewed people in the past who are legitimately crazy and they say crazy things, and there's no, like, you can tell that they're saying these crazy things and they believe it, but like they don't try to hide it later because like they're not even aware how crazy they are. Whereas her, she'll do something crazy, ridiculous, abusive, whatever, and then she will create these layers of lies to cover up what her behavior has done because she knows it's wrong, so she tries to hide it. And I think that right there is a lot of reasons why people don't like her.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and it's just how does she not? I mean, because that's what makes it so fascinating. She knows, but will work her ass off to convince herself otherwise, you know?
Yeah.
And anybody who tries to point it out to her is an enemy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're attacking her. They're defaming her. Blah blah blah.
But it's what we had to do.
Oh, sorry.
I've asked and asked.
Thank you, Jackie Garnett. She fails to see that attacking someone else will shed light on her. Shameful. Exactly. And that's a great point too. It's an excellent point that she fails to see when attacking someone else will shed light on her. And that's, again, my point. All she has to do is stop fucking attacking people and being fucked up.
Yep.
You know, that's all she has to do.
And asked, and nothing is working. So just bear with me. We're not going to be discussing a whole lot moving forward about that aspect. We're refocusing back to the cases, but I'm going to tell you, you're going to be hearing a lot of things over the next 2 weeks in the back chat rooms, people throwing fits and things like that. And there's nothing I can do about it at this point.
People throwing fits.
So moving forward,
so
we'll take it.
Wait, so she's talking about her like her inner chat with her mods and stuff?
I don't know. Let me play that one more time.
Back chats.
Aspect. We're refocusing back to the cases, but I'm going to tell you, you're going to be hearing a lot of things over the next 2 weeks in the back chat rooms, people throwing fits and things like that. And there's nothing I can do about it at this point.
Oh, so she's expecting some backlash from the people that she speaks to behind the scenes.
Oh, so maybe she is going to go on a doxing spree.
That's what it looks like. Grandma Cherry, thank you so much. The group of them give me comic supervillain vibes. Just me. Yeah.
She looks much better like that. See, I agree. That's what I said. I like her blurred. Okay. It's way better.
Yeah.
The less pixels, the better.
The blur is working.
So moving forward, we'll take it and as things come up, we'll address it and we'll deal with it and we'll move on. But we're going to get back to the cases. We're going to get back to doing our job. We're going to get back to what we love doing here. And I still hope that I garner your support and understand that we didn't ask for this. We've actually been for 2 years begging for it to stop. It has chosen not to stop.
2 years.
Despite our
Yeah,
pleas.
wait, yeah.
They think this is a game.
That's not right.
I
No.
didn't even know she existed 2 years ago, but
Same.
okay.
Same. Well, yeah. When was the Gabby Petito case? That wasn't that last summer? I mean, it could have been 2 summers ago.
I think it was I don't know. I didn't start reviewing her until January. Excuse me, January of 2022. So for me it's been
Okay.
just over a year.
I started after the Gabby Petito thing. It was when they started with Summer Wells. Which was a year after Summer went missing, at least.
The fall of 2021, because their first trip to Tennessee, I think, was in November or December of 2021.
Okay.
I think that's when they first went down
Yeah.
there as a group.
I don't even know how long it's been. I do know that that's when I started reviewing her, though, was because that was a case that I covered. And then I was like, what the fuck is MGL and these idiots doing?
I don't take this as a game. I want to be left the fuck alone.
Too bad.
I've always
Right.
I mean, that's such an absurd thing to say. I'm going to have live streams, public live streams on a multi-billion-dollar platform, and I'm going to say all this fuck shit, but I don't think that anyone should ever have to say anything back to me.
Right.
That's not reality.
It's not reality at all. And what's funny is nobody is actually, because again, man, people make fucking videos about me. I don't get in a fucking twist about it.
Same.
You know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
I don't consider that breaching the not leaving me alone barrier. You know what I mean? Like, I still feel left alone when someone makes a video about me.
But the thing is, it's like she can't claim that she wants to be, quote, left the fuck alone, end quote, when she is having an active back and forth with people. Like, she is actively back and forth, emailing people back and forth.
Yeah.
She's leaving comments and arguing with people in chats. She's showing up in other people's live streams. She admits on camera that she went into Queen Bee's chat and was arguing back and forth with people in there. It's like, that you can't have it both ways. You can't be like, oh, I want them to leave me alone. This is harassment. And then the next minute have an ongoing back and forth drama in all of these different scenarios. That's like, pick one.
Right. You're feeding into it, and then like and in the same breath saying no drama, you know.
Right.
I've always just wanted to be left alone. But clearly they will not do it. So
But, okay, let's talk about that too for a second. Like, so all she wants is to be left alone, right? But Betty, let's look at your behavior, all of it, and everything that you consider to be your job consists of harassing people and not leaving them the fuck alone.
Right.
So you basically are saying that you want to be left the fuck alone. As I stated earlier, you want to be left the fuck alone while you don't leave other people alone.
Well,
no.
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and just say no.
I mean,
As
why
long
did
as
she
you do
not?
that,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, as long as she does that, I'm not stopping. You know?
I agree. Same. I mean, I just keep thinking back to Monty's 2 children. When he asked her to leave his kids alone, and she said, fuck you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then she proceeds to do an entire live stream, doxing the children and making fun of that teenage girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? So she'll have to excuse me if I say, that's a no for me, dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, if she was just doing her boring true crime shit, I wouldn't review her. There's plenty of streams that she's done.
I wouldn't either.
Boring true crime, and I don't ever review those streams because there's nothing for me to stream. But here recently, she is like, every single stream now is like doxing someone, threatening someone, I don't remember which stream is in because she's doing so many of them now, but there was one recently where she actually says the words, I'm making veiled threats. And I was like, why did you just say that out loud?
Yeah.
You were supposed to keep that in your head, dummy. You shouldn't have said that.
Dude.
You know?
Yeah, she's completely, she's just completely, it's just really funny to me that she just continues to be absolutely clueless to her own shit.
Yeah.
And it's not going to come back on her in a positive way. And hardly anybody's even going to have to do anything. You know, it's just her doing her own shit. It's going to cause her.
Well, look what she did today. I didn't go live. I had no like thought of posting anything today. I wasn't even home most of the day. And it's like, I'd get all these messages from people saying that she's, saying all this stuff in her live stream this morning. And I was
keep
like,
going. I can hear you. Just
okay.
Keep going.
So she was saying all this stuff earlier this morning in her live stream. And I was like, no, tell me she didn't say that. And I was like, oh my God, she did say it. Then I was like, what was the purpose of that stream and then this stream that we're reviewing now that she did later in the day? It's like she's choosing to put out this content, and it's like she knows that it's going to get her negative attention. And now like you can look in the comment sections and see that there are people who don't like me, but now they're upset with her because they were actual supporters of her. And they're like, hey, can you get back to true crime? Why are you doing more drama streams? And it's like, to me, if she really cared about her audience, she would take a step back and be like, you know what? I think I've crossed the line and I'm going to get back to doing my normal stuff. But then here she is saying that she's going to get back to her normal stuff. But then in the very next breath, she's saying, don't get mad at me if stuff starts coming out. And it's like, girl, like you have to make a decision here.
Agreed. And if she decides to, like, if she is talking about retaliation to people who are speaking negatively about her behind the scenes and criticizing her, if she's referring to that, she's sorry, I got distracted. If she's referring to that, she's basically admitting that she's sorry. That sometimes the chat just totally overwhelms me.
That's okay. Somebody says, can you just give people a heads up about clipping on JLR's website? He posted not to do it, basically. Oh, yes. Okay. So, don't click on his website. He actually went he went to prison, federal prison, for doing phishing emails to get people's information. Don't click that shit. Even if you have a VPN, don't click it. Just don't. Okay? Please.
And there's nothing to indicate that JLR isn't under his, the same his behavior is indicating that he's just the same person that he always was. There's absolutely no logical reason as to do anything that is trusting in anything that he tells you to do when it comes to clicking on something or putting in any information or anything like that. This is a guy, like you said, went to prison for this.
Right.
So,
and he's not sorry. Like, he thinks it's cool that he did it.
Right.
And Bullhorn Betty makes excuses and says, oh, he's not a bad guy. He shouldn't have gone to prison. Okay.
While still bragging about, if people keep doing things that she doesn't like doing, she's going to sick JLR on him because he's not the one to fuck with and he'll do these horrible things.
So that's going to be the last thing we talk about related to this for just a little bit, but I promise you, you guys are going to hear some kicking and screaming within this next couple of weeks. Or God strike me dead. Right? Or God strike me dead. So buckle up, Buttercup. We're going to do this thing. It's done. So God bless
Like
each and
she's talking like she's gonna have somebody killed, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like she's talking like a mobster.
Oh my
You-
God.
we're,
It's
we're gonna do
hilarious.
we're gonna do the thing.
It's
Just
done.
right. We can't go back. It's already done.
Hey,
The wheels have
boss.
already-
What about that piece of bread on the interwebs?
Listen, we don't say another word about that. It's already done. The wheels are in motion. Can't go back now.
each and every one of you. And don't forget to be fearless. Sometimes it's hard, but you got to understand right and wrong.
I love
Right.
that. That's rich. that's just fantastic.
Be fearless, guys.
Be fearless, and then you gotta understand right from wrong. Like, yeah. You gotta understand right from wrong, Betty. Yeah, oh man. So what I was gonna say was, so say those people in her chat, right, are the people that she is that she's talking to, and you know, maybe she's planning on cleaning house. What if she's talking about cleaning house? I don't want the people who don't understand what I'm doing and don't support me. If she does that, what she's inadvertently doing or unintentionally doing is getting rid of any chance that she has to maintain a true crime creator image. Because if she gets rid of if she gets rid of the people who are simply saying, Betty, just please just go back to the true crime because this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
If she's that triggered by them and her reaction is, you know what, you all can get the fuck out. Guess what, Betty? Now you're going to have 100% a drama audience.
Yep.
A drama channel audience, 100%.
Yeah, which means she is going to get shit every time she doesn't do drama.
Yeah, that's it. Right. She's going to get, or people will just not log on, you know?
Correct. Right.
And what's funny about her doing the true crime, you were saying earlier, this is another point that I forgot during my brain fart. You were saying earlier that you don't give a shit about her true crime shit because it's boring and whatever. Honestly, even though that's the stuff that concerns me about her, she hasn't, unless I see her somewhere doing whatever she's doing, chances are she's going to do something or say something about a case that's going to go completely under my radar. Why? Because she's so fucking boring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, unless she's like, I'm gearing up and I'm heading out to this place and I'm going to be like, fuck, all right, let's see what this fucking idiot does. But she's talking about a case that I'm not following. And you saw, I fast forwarded right through it. I don't have any information on that case. I can't call her out for misinformation. You know what I mean? So she's going to go under my radar if she just does that shit, you know? It's crazy to me that she thinks that, you know, people are just obsessed with her. That's no, you just keep doing fucked up shit to people.
Yeah. I was reading some of the comments and it's like, she was like, they're in love with me. And people were like, no, we just like laughing at you. I mean, it's Octum's razor here, babe.
Yeah.
As she likes to say, like, it's just the simplest answer, and that we enjoy laughing at you because you're a dumpster fire.
Right. Constantly.
That's literally it, guys. There's no secret agenda here. That's what I do. I laugh at problematic people on the internet. Sorry, but there's nothing more to my content than that. Like me, hate me, whatever, but that's what it is.
I do the same as it pertains to true crime.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be doing, now that I know that I can, you know, edit a video, I'll be doing more true crime, but I'm not going to stop talking about this shit because it's something that really bothers me.
Yeah.
Right and wrong, good or evil.
Did you catch that?
We always take the high road
if
right and
yeah, when she starts talking about that.
wrong, good or evil.
See that? She's trying to make it seem like that it's this epic battle. Where
Right.
she's good and all these people who disagree with her are evil. And like I agreed, like when she got to that point, I was like, okay, you are starting to sound like a cult leader.
Right.
there.
How is that not a red flag right off the bat? Like
Right.
when you were sitting here acting like, because I don't come up here acting like I'm fighting the fucking ultimate fight of good and evil, you know. I'm just like, you know, like these cases interest me, and creators like you are making good true crime creators look bad, man. You know,
Yeah.
and it
When she
sucks.
starts talking about like right and wrong and evil and they're evil and we're good, I just want to like be like, hey,
It's not that
this
serious.
is a Wendy's, ma'am.
Right.
Ma'am, this is a Wendy's.
Exactly.
We always take the high road. We are going to continue to take the high road.
You've
I got it.
never taken the high road.
Except in her police report.
Oh my God.
In that case, she has no pants.
Dude, Betty, like, come on. Just all you gotta do is just be like, look, man, like, you know what would be so fucking awesome? Like, because she's sitting here going, we're we're revamping the channel here. We're going to straight just true crime, blah, blah, blah. But what would be really, really good is if she like, and it would be just as easy to just go, you know what? I've been doing this wrong. You know, she didn't even have to say somebody was right. You know what I mean? She could just be like, I've been doing this wrong. Like, I don't want to do anything that's going to stir up hate, because there's tons of true crime channels out there that don't get any type of people reviewing them, dude.
Right.
Ever.
Like, when's the last time you saw 1,000 channels reviewing Chasing Truth?
Right.
Never seen it.
Or
you want to
Gray
know
Hughes.
why? You know what the secret is? She doesn't do the fuck shit. There you go.
Exactly. That's the secret. That's the secret ingredient. Bro.
Right.
Don't do the fuck shit. Like none of these channels, the ones that are bigger that have, you know, even them,
Yeah.
you might even disagree with some of the stuff they say. You know, they might even fuck up, you know, and say the wrong thing, but they don't have campaigns, you know, of like a network of people that are like, this person sucks. You know, I mean, there's something about you that's making that happen. You know what I mean? It's not, you're not being picked on.
Yeah.
The fact that you think that you're just being picked on is actually a symptom of why you're being picked on.
And you know what? I don't know what she did on TikTok before she came to YouTube, but she did something over there, because there are people over there who hate her. And they're the ones that actually posted her, like all of her criminal stuff. That's how I found it. It's because whoever she pissed off on TikTok had already posted it everywhere, tagging her name. So I don't know what she did over there, but apparently she pissed them off too. So
it doesn't take much.
And then
you
she
know?
came to YouTube and thought things were going to be different. It's like, no.
Yeah. Oh, I just need a fresh start to do exactly what the fuck I was doing before. Curious idea. Thank you. BHB equals FAW True Crime Grits. Yes.
I got in the gutter and I said, why am I doing this? I don't have to do this. I've got a lot of resources at my disposal. I had an opportunity to bring to
Okay, let's.
This is when she starts bragging.
Yeah, but something about what she just said right here.
Continue to take the high road. I got in the gutter and I said, why am I doing this? I don't have to do this. I've got a lot of resources at my disposal.
See, I'm taking that like she is saying she has something planned
Yeah.
and she's going to get somebody else to do something about it.
Well, that's how
She's
she's
taking
always operated.
right,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
So now she's alluding to I have a lot of resources. I don't have to get my hands dirty.
Right.
That's how I'm taking that anyway. I don't
Yeah.
have to get my hands dirty. I don't have to get down in the gutter, as she put it, anymore. You know, I have a lot of resources at my disposal.
So this is what you would call a veiled threat.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. And I can't believe she's
I
dumb
had an
enough to put this on a live stream. But
Again.
here we are. And here we are reviewing it. And then she's like, why do the people review me? Because you say things like that.
And this all goes into her personality of someone who just has to be an intimidating being.
Yeah.
You know, she has to have that tough guy, you know, that's all that is. She's showing out. This is all part of her need for attention, is to sound like she's so tough and that she's, you know, because if she didn't have that need, she would just ignore. She would just ignore. But ironically, though, if she didn't have that need, she wouldn't do the fuck shit that she does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, so
opportunity to speak with one of my my representatives. I had an opportunity to speak to my representatives, and they have been called. So now they see what I go through. Now they're waking up.
okay, she just got a little bit more specific.
To speak with one of my my representatives.
You see how she was trying to find the right word to describe that person?
Yeah. Yeah.
I find that interesting. Lex, thank you. You're the best trial guy. Hope you stream it, Boomer. Yes, no, I plan on it. If it's going to be streamed, I'll stream it. Yes, thank you so much, Lex. Right there, I found that really interesting. She got a little bit more specific. She was looking for a way to word the person and describe them. And she's basically saying, a representative. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean an attorney? Does that mean a Proud Boy? What does that mean? What is she alluding to here? Because it totally sounds like you said, a veiled threat.
Oh yeah, it's definitely one of those.
I had an opportunity to speak to my representatives, and they have been called.
And then representatives, plural.
And they have been called. Is she saying that she called them or other people are bothering them?
Right.
So now they see what I go through. Now they're waking up. And now
Right. Who? You know what I mean? Like, who's waking up?
See, I don't believe her.
What represent? Right. That's another thing.
She says this shit all the time.
The most likely scenario here, like as deep as we're thinking about it, it's probably just boils down to her talking out of her ass as usual.
Yeah. She probably talked to JLR and was like, hey, can you dox this person so I can make fun of them on my live stream?
Right.
And he was like, yeah, no problem.
And
babe.
she's making it sound like fire and brimstone.
Right. I mean, you want to hear something interesting. So, you know the stream that she tried to strike down the other day?
Yeah.
Yesterday? Do you know what stream that was?
No.
It was one 7 months ago. And I was like, that's weird. Why is she trying to strike down something that was so long ago? So I went back and I watched that stream again. And I realized it's a stream that she had deleted off of her channel. And it's a stream where she's talking just like this. She's standing in a pool on vacation, talking about, she was talking about how that she had just put down a $10,000 retainer to a team of lawyers who were going to sue me in federal court, and that she had found out who I was, and she'd made some other references to who she thinks I was, which I thought was hilarious. And she was talking about how she was definitely taking me to court, and that it was going to be really expensive. So she didn't want to hear anything from her subscribers if she starts asking for money, for like, to pay for this and pay for that. And I just remember laughing, and I was like, okay, sure. And here we are 7 months later, and I'm like, okay, what happened to the $10,000 that you put down? Where's this team? Because she said that earlier that day she had quote meetings with her team of lawyers, and I was laughing, and I was just like, okay, sure. So it's interesting that that's the stream that she tried to strike down yesterday, in which YouTube told her it's fair use, go kick rocks.
Right. Now I find it's very interesting, and I also wonder why she wouldn't just call them lawyers if that's what she's referring to. She said that shit before.
Yeah.
In the stream you're referring to. Why not say that here if that's what she's talking about?
Who knows?
Why the word representatives? You know what I mean? And if she was talking about lawyers, like, they would have had a case already. You know what I mean?
Right.
They wouldn't have been like, okay, now we see what you're going through, poor thing. We'll help you. No, if there's a case and you got the money, they'll do it.
Well, here's the thing. She has been threatening to sue me and threatening to sue countless other people. I think she's even threatened to sue you as well. Like, she's been saying this forever. And it's like, you keep saying it, but it's not actually ever happening.
Yeah, Captain Nappin, Captain Capone here, says the doxing of QB actually started with JLR because Queen Bee called him out on that post where he said Candace Wells was the school shooter, and his response was to dox her. Then BHB did, then Dolly Vision did. Right.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm aware. Yes, thank you for that. I am
and I'm glad that Queen Bee called him out for that, because that was disgusting. Like, that was so unnecessary for him to post that.
Yeah, it was really gross. And I I think that it's so funny how he tries to act like he's this serious journalist and then does shit like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And expects us not to. I mean, every time this guy just acts like a child. It's incredible. He's like a spoiled little brat.
Now they're starting to realize that this whole cyber stalking stuff is serious stuff and what they are doing.
Oh, she's so stupid.
Nobody's realizing anything. Like, I haven't.
What's so funny is that if she starts like suing all these people, it's just like, okay, devil's advocate, say she ends up finding out who I am and takes me to court. It's just like, does she not realize I have a ridiculous amount of evidence?
Right. Yeah. I mean, that is
like a ridiculous amount.
That's just the bonus to reviewing her too.
Right.
Because there's also some level of having a responsibility of doing it. That's why I love the clip channels too, because now it's on the internet forever. There's no taking down what you said on your stream when it's being reviewed. There's just none. And if it's evidence in a crime, it's still going to get pulled up.
Yep.
Whether it's been clipped or not.
They did that to JLR, is that they were pulling up his own streams against him when they were prosecuting him in court.
Yeah, I mean, because it's fucking evidence. It's like, it's as evidence gets.
So now I got some help. So thank you, haters, for that. I appreciate you for that. But sometimes you guys do go a little too far, and it turns around and bites you in the ass. And so that's going to be the last idle threat you hear from Bullhorn Betty, because there's no more threats.
See right there,
no more threats. There's
the
just
fact that she admitted.
So we'll see y'all soon.
The fact that she admitted that she just gave idle threats. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, she's so fucking stupid. You cannot go into court and say these people are threatening me and then be like, oh yeah, I also threatened them. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the judge is going to be like, okay, so it was a back and forth, case dismissed.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, she can't claim victim here.
Or worst case scenario, something actually happens to somebody and then she becomes suspect.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And this is not going to look good.
Right.
Go
And
a little
even
too
if she
far.
didn't do it, the fact
Right.
that she's here admitting that she's threatening people,
Yeah,
she's setting herself up.
She's going to be the one that's looked at.
Correct.
And it turns around and bites you in the ass. And so that's going to be the last idle threat
Boom.
you hear from Bullhorn Betty, because there's no more threats. There's no more threats. There's just action at this point. So we'll see y'all
God, man, I've heard that so many fucking times.
I know.
dude.
It's so contrite.
Yeah, and that's it. She ends it right here, I think.
soon. Be back here tomorrow, 6:30 to 8:30. We're going to do this thing. We're going to get back on track. We're going to, and we don't care what they say. We don't care what they say moving forward. We don't care what they say moving forward. Because
She's
Yes,
not
you
bothered,
do.
guys, at all. She's not
I don't
bothered.
care. She doesn't care,
I
guys.
don't care. She's pressed,
it's
not
going to
pressed.
be
Exactly.
pretty big. It's going to be pretty big. So God bless each and every one of
It's
you.
gonna
Thank
be
you for
pretty
trusting
big.
me. Thank you for your love and support. And no, I really don't try to bring you guys into drama or anything like that. But you,
No drama zone, guys.
No drama zone. I don't want to bring you guys into drama, but I have to fucking talk about it. Like, she's so dumb. Like, she could totally peddle the drama too. She could totally, like, if she was
She
smart,
would get so many views. If she
yeah,
did.
she could fucking start a Patreon and be like, you know
Yeah.
what? Join my Patreon and fucking all drama. I'll trash
Right.
talk and
She gets
everybody that you
so
want me to
many
trash
views.
talk.
And what's so crazy is that every time she does a stream like this, where she's clearly doing drama, threatening people, threatening to dox people, and then says there's no drama, I'm like, do you realize this doesn't scare people like me? I see this as yay, more fun content to laugh at.
Right.
Like
Totally.
this just, I wake up and I'm like, wow, this is great. I don't even have to figure out what to do in my next stream. I'm just going to review this and laugh at it.
Dude, I could just like, I love hanging out with my chat so much that I could literally not, you know how many times I review her when I don't have shit to talk about, because she never fails to provide.
Right.
Never.
And look at all of these the clip channels, parody channels, commentary channels. There are now channels that don't even, who just found her, that don't even normally do content on her, that are finding her because of all of the craziness that she's done in the last couple of months. And then they're finding all these other channels, like all of us, that have been talking about her, and they're falling down a rabbit hole. So now she's getting more and more and more people who are criticizing her because she's not just embracing what her channel is.
Exactly.
You're absolutely right. She has a drama channel. I don't know why she just can't admit it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's like, that's what I'm saying, is she only has so much left. Like, she only has so much people left that actually follow and actually give a shit about what she has to say about a crime case.
Right.
And so as soon as those people who have common sense and feel, you know, compelled to speak up on it to her, she's gonna block them. She's gonna hide them. And then she loses them as a subscriber. And then eventually she just basically just phases out anybody who is actually there for the content that she wants to tell people she's here for.
Right. And not only that,
Really
but like,
funny.
I remember this was back last year when I first started reviewing her. She actually had mods that were surrounding her, where if she got like kind of out of pocket too much, or she started drinking and started getting a little like, oh, you shouldn't say that. She actually had mods during that time who would be like, hey, let's not give the haters more content. Let's end the stream. Like, they would say things like that. And I was like, okay, that person actually cares about her, because they're telling her what she needs to hear instead of just kissing her ass. And you know what? All of those people, she's turned on them, because the last drunk stream she did, which was a couple months ago, she actually called one of their names out and was like, fuck you, and was like flipping off the camera and saying all this stuff. And I was like, wow. So that's why she's wilding out right now, because now she no longer has those mods that are reining her in when she goes crazy. You're
Right.
muted. Okay, yeah.
Yes. Let me before I forget. Okay, so I gotta find the timestamp here that she put. But this is apparently the stream. Hold on. I'll just play it.
Children and
Sounds
child
so
welfare
stupid.
things here. I go to my BOCC meeting. I reach out to politicians and stuff across this country to advocate for children and try to get people on board with that, not petty bull stuff like I'm doing right now. You know, this like they're the same piece of garbage that keeps getting arrested. She has a criminal history for over 2 decades old. Nothing but crime. Robberies, jackings, dealing, manufacturing. Not a good woman. Not a good woman. And if she really had changed her life,
Wow.
Yeah.
The audacity of this.
2021 2 times.
Wow.
So did you. Like, didn't she get arrested? Like, not in 2021, but
She got arrested for domestic something in 2017.
2017.
And she's starting to get in trouble again because, like I said, she got sued by one credit card company. She's still getting sued for a second one. And then she admitted in another stream that when she was in DC partying it up with her friends, claiming that she was doing it for the children, she picked up a piece of paper and showed it to the screen and said that when she was in DC, she like ran a red light, was speeding, and got a ticket in DC. And so she's got to either pay that or go to court for that too. It's just like, good Lord, like, can you stop getting in trouble with the law? That would be great.
Right.
Since you're going to like criticize everybody else.
Yeah, I don't. She's so hypocritical. Like, and she's so mad because what's like the look on her face right now, Toast, is not I'm mad at this person because how dare she. It's now I feel vilified. Now I feel that I have something that I could say about somebody else, and she's like, super, you know what I mean?
But here's the thing: if Queen Bee was doing the things that Bullhorn Betty was doing, if Queen Bee was saying some racist stuff, if Queen Bee was going in front of people's houses and disturbing the peace and harassing families, if Queen Bee was begging for, for the children, and then she ends up taking that money and going somewhere else. Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
right.
If the same things that I was reviewing Bullhorn Betty for, if say Queen Bee did that, I would call Queen Bee out for the same thing. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, I had never really watched Queen Bee's channel. And so I started watching her because of Bullhorn Betty. So I guess Bullhorn Betty I should thank Bullhorn Betty for subscribing to Queen Bee's channel, because I had never watched her before. And I'm just not seeing any of those things. I see people that it looks like she has an open panel where a bunch of people get up there and they just shoot the shit and give their opinions about stuff. Like, I'm not seeing any kind of like crazy nefarious things happening like I'm seeing in Bullhorn Betty streams,
Right. Like I have a history with Queen Bee, and we, unspokenly have agreed to disagree on that. But since then, I just haven't, I've just kind of just kept my distance. But I know that a lot of my followers like her as well. But I have not. I mean, what that tells me, A, is that she's not doing nefarious shit. And B, well, if we have a lot of the same followers, it's probably because she's probably calling out the same shit that I'm calling out.
Well, exactly.
So,
because I found out that I have a lot of subscribers in common with her too. So I was like, okay, let me just, since Bullhorn Betty's screaming her head off about her, let me just go to her channel and see what's up. And it's like, I had heard her name, but I had never actually sat down and say, okay, let me like actually watch one of her streams. And I'm like, okay, this was funny as fuck. I
Right.
see why Bullhorn Betty is getting insecure. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because Queen
Yeah.
Bee is getting numbers and it's a funny group of people. And you never know what they're going to talk about next because it's just all like everywhere, which I think is it's a great style, right? It's different than mine, but I think it's also just as funny. And it's like I see why Bullhorn Betty is getting upset because it's not just Queen Bee, it's heels in the air, it's you, it's me, it's Savage, it's a bunch of other channels that are growing and getting numbers when they call her out. When
Right.
they're calling other people out, when they call JLR out.
And even if it's
know?
even if it's just to fucking make fun of them because they make it that easy, you know, like it's crazy. Even just for that,
Right.
you know, because their hypocrisy is actually humorous at times, you know. So it's like they have this complete lack of self-awareness, and she will, you know, and like you said, Queen Bee is not doing these things.
Right.
You know
That's
what
what
I
I'm
mean?
saying.
Like,
It was a
you don't
huge nothing
care
burger because I went over there and I was like, these people aren't doing any of this shit that Bullhorn Betty's claiming, you know?
because first of all, here's the thing: is I'm not judging Queen Bee for anything that she was charged with. Okay, and for two reasons: a, because she doesn't do the shit that she's, you know what I'm, her behavior on YouTube is not synonymous with somebody who did those things.
Correct.
Right.
Yep.
A. B is she uh she was doxxed. So I shouldn't even know about that stuff is what I'm trying to say. The fact that she made it a point to try to keep herself anonymous. She has every right to do that. She has every right to run her YouTube channel as she sees fit, as long as she's not doing fucked up shit to other people and victimizing them. She has every right, just as you have every right, to stay anonymous, right? And just because you don't like what she's doing, you don't get to dig up their past and throw it in their face when they are requesting to be anonymous. See, there's two reasons why we talk about Betty's past. Is A, the reasons that we discussed before, is she doesn't take any accountability for it whatsoever, and B, because she does such fucked up shit on YouTube that is it mirrors, you know, her behavior on YouTube mirrors the type of person that she was in her police record. You know what I mean? So
well,
it's
the thing is, right. Bullhorn Betty is still doing the fucked up shit.
right.
Her behavior has not changed. Furthermore, I brought up her record because it was relevant.
Right.
Because she was sitting there for a long time saying, I've never been arrested. And I'm like, I saw some stuff from TikTok. But I never said anything. And then she started attacking people, saying, oh, you have a DUI, therefore you must have murdered your kid. And I was like, but you have DUIs. And then she was like, oh, well, you're lying. Do your due diligence on me. So I was like, you know what? Challenge accepted, bitch. So then we had I did a full stream on it. And you know what? Not sorry I did it. And I do it again. And I was very careful with how I did it. I did not show her birth date, her address. I didn't show anything. I read it out loud. And there were actually people who were upset with me because I read it instead of actually showing it. Even though I could have, I didn't, because I didn't want to show personal information.
And that's another thing. She doesn't choose to be anonymous. She wants to be well known. She wants people to know where she lives. She wants all that shit. Like, she doesn't do anything to keep herself anonymous at all whatsoever. Now, Queen Bee, from what I've seen, has done everything to try to stay anonymous. She obviously does not want her real name shared or information, and she has every right to keep that to herself. You know what I mean?
But regardless of that, her kids should not have been brought into it.
And you're right.
I
Right.
have never looked up Bullhorn Betty's mother or sisters or her father. I don't know their names. I don't know where they live. I don't want to know. Don't send me that shit or I will block you.
Right.
I have never talked about, like named her family members. If Bullhorn
And
Betty had
nobody
kids,
sends me that shit. Nobody sends me that kind of
nobody's
shit.
sending me exactly.
Because I make it clear, and I will put somebody's ass out here on a live stream if I get an email like that, and I'm going, you motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't ever send me shit like that. Just to make sure everyone knows, don't ever send me shit like that.
I don't stream when MGL's kids on the screen. There have been people that have asked me questions about him, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't talk about people's kids. If Bullhorn Betty had kids, I would not talk about them. Other people that I have reviewed, I have not talked about their kids either. The only exception was Shani for Christ, because she was abusing her children live on camera.
Yeah.
That was the only time where it was like, okay, we need to talk about this.
Right. Yeah.
And even then, after that was over, I don't bring her kids up. I don't put her kids on my channel. Like, even when I was discussing the abuse that was happening and Shani for Christ was actually putting her kids on camera, she was doing that. I did not review those streams, and we made a decision throughout the entire community that I come from on YouTube. None of us, we all made a decision that we were not going to be reviewing the streams that Shani had posted where she was putting her kids on camera.
Yeah.
None of us reviewed any of those streams.
Right.
Period.
That's never okay.
Right.
Yeah. Curious Idea said, can't hurt people. IRL now goes online to abuse.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hold on. Let's see. This should be where
That wouldn't have happened if she changed her life. So I'm sorry. You can say you changed, but your record says otherwise.
Wow. Okay. Irony.
They got nothing on me. And I kept saying, back last.
See, like, you realize the self-consciousness right there, because she went right back to herself. Like, they got nothing on me.
She's very insecure. Yeah.
Exactly. Be Botanical, thank you so much. I listen to Queen Bee all the time, and I've never heard her child's voices. She mutes every time. Great live, by the way. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Last year, or in 2021 and the beginning of 2022, when they started disseminating all the stuff, I said, that's all you got. How many times? Some of you guys have been with me before I was even on YouTube. How many times did I say, you guys better slow up on releasing all that information, because you're waterboarding YouTube with Bullhorn Betty, and that's all you guys got. You only have my past. You don't have my present, and you don't have my future.
And that right there.
But I got theirs. Especially the ones that can't quit.
You see what I'm saying? When she says things like that, oh, well, I'm not doing anything right now. Bitch, yes, you are.
Yeah.
You go to trial in May. What you talking about? Do you know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't even bring it up if she wasn't lying about it.
Right. Right. This is supposedly where she says something about hitting kids, but
jail. You want to throw jail? All this stuff? Okay. All right, baby. I got you. You're sassy and classy. Much love. My coffee bean. I love you, Steffers. I just want, it's like when I spanked my children, right? Or not my children, my grandchildren.
Okay, here we go.
What? Okay. I didn't see this part. Okay.
Wow. I almost read that super chat.
I always made sure that if they did something wrong that would result a patting on the butt, that I made sure it was when I wasn't angry. Sometimes kids can do things that are like, so it was very important that I made sure that if they did something, that I'd give myself time to calm down. And then when I did have to spank them, I would do it calmly and say, and I would explain it.
Okay.
You know,
Why is she spanking kids that are not hers?
I
That-
was just going to get into that. Go ahead.
The mother and father of those kids are not her relatives. She is a
Right.
temporary, like, wife of the
Right.
dad. They only lived together for a couple of years, and then he left her. That's what she said.
Whether you
Oh my God.
agree with spanking or you're against spanking, nothing you're ever going to tell me is going to justify somebody putting their hands on someone else's kids.
Correct.
Like that's not,
Wow.
don't, like, just because you call them your grandkids. No, you were in as you just put it, Toast.
Wow.
She was in a temporary situation. Now, those of us who actually have children, bet your ass that if anybody put their hands on my kids who was
Yep.
not their mother, we're gonna have at least words. At least.
Yes. Yes.
Because I'll put it this way. I'm willing to hear you out. I'm willing to hear you out. But chances are there's not going to be anything that you're going to tell me that justifies you putting your hands on my kids. You know, like, and how somebody raises their own kids, that's, you know what I mean? Like, that's their business. You know what I mean? But there's nothing, I mean, even if, let's say that parent gave her permission to discipline those kids, right? A decent person would be like, no, that's not my place. No way is that ever my place. You always talk to the parent. Always, always, always refer back to the parent. You don't have any real authority over that child, especially not to breach physical boundaries.
Right.
Ever.
Also, please keep in mind, again, when she met her husband, he, first of all, is like 12 plus years older than her, and his kids were already grown and had moved out of the house. She did not have a relationship with his kids. She didn't raise his kids. So here she is coming in. It's already
Right.
awkward as fuck coming in as a step parent, right? So then
And
she
she's
comes
putting
in.
her hands on their kids?
Right.
What?
That's what I'm saying. Like, that is a boundary that I don't understand why she thought was okay to cross.
And she says it with such confidence and entitlement. Look at this.
As if they were her kids. Because
Right.
back it up, because she's like, oh, my grandkids. No, bitch. They were not yours.
Yo.
Oh my God.
Homies.
Hold on.
Get your screenshots. Get your screenshots.
Oh my God. Taking a
That's,
screenshot of that.
you know, that's everyone's next thumbnail.
Okay.
Let the memes begin.
The look of the HB when the judge says, get the fuck out of my courtroom.
Oh my God, people. Oh my God. The pause gods are strong when Toast is here, when it's me and Toast.
It's
Oh
my
goodness.
superpower. She's
It
going to sue me
clearly-
for that too.
Wow.
you know, so it was very important that I made sure that if they did something, that I'd give myself time to calm down. And
Yeah, right.
and then when I did,
Bro, like,
I don't believe
never-
that.
No, I don't believe that shit at all. Like, what? Like, I don't, dude. Nobody else's kids, like nobody's. Yeah, like small kids for sure, have ever actually made me mad. I can honestly say that. Never has a small kid actually ever made me like pissed off to the point where I'm like, what the fuck, you know? A teenager will do that, but a small kid, no. Like, they're completely innocent. You know what I mean? Like, there's absolutely no, and especially someone else's kids, you know, they're just like, any decent person, like, because there's kids that are just fucking grabbing onto your ankle, and what do? You just kind of like, and you keep talking to whoever you're talking to. You know what I mean? Because a
Yep.
kid is a kid. You know, you're gonna get mad at a puppy when they're fucking chewing on, you know, and no, like if I see somebody and they're around a puppy and the puppy is like kind of playfully, you know, love biting them and whatever, and they go fuck, you know, I'm like, that's a piece of shit right there. That's an asshole.
Yeah.
You know, because you can't differentiate that they don't know any better. You know what I mean?
That's a good point. Somebody in the chat goes, most people don't have to say they weren't angry when spanking a kid unless they were being questioned by cops for
Good
abuse.
point.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good point.
Good point.
Yeah.
I did have to spank them. I would do it calmly and say, and I would explain it. You know, I'm going to have to spank your rear end. This is not what Nana wants to do. But
Okay.
What?
All right.
You can't have conversations with like a toddler or young
No.
kid. Like they don't understand.
No, they don't get it.
That's not a thing.
And this is also very, very interesting is
Wow.
just because you're being calm in the way that you talk to them doesn't mean that you're not pissed off and irrational either. And I'll explain
Yes.
because there's a recording. Letitia Stock, she's going on trial tomorrow for murdering her stepson Gannon. And she posted a video on social media. It was only audio really, but she took a video of her basically reprimanding him. And she was trying to post it like, see, I wasn't, you know, I was talking to him and blah, 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 but he was crying. And you could tell that she was very manipulative.
Yeah.
And she was basically saying that he was going to get in a lot of trouble, you know, for ruining the carpet or something like that. And she was just, you could tell she was very intimidating. But even though she was speaking very calmly, even though she was speaking, you know, sternly, but not, it was in a very intimidating manner, in a very authoritative manner, which, you know, if you're doing that, there's no reason why an 11-year-old kid should be that fucking scared.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we all know how that case turned out. Crazy House Saloon, thank you so much. I think she only says she has grandkids and watched said kids to be relevant, and she makes up stories. I would bet she never watched said kids and they don't know who she is. I would bet that there were probably, if I had to guess, I'd say that, and thank you, by the way. If I had to guess, I would say that there was probably very brief occasions where she may have babysat for these people, and made herself available, and they probably were open to it in order to somehow accept her as being their dad's new wife. And if I had to guess, I'd say that those kids were probably like, that lady spanked us.
Yeah.
Don't let us go over there anymore.
Okay, so somebody in the chat says, Burnt Toast, there's documents referencing a guardian ad litem at one of her charges. There were documents out there about kids being removed. Okay, so I have not seen that.
Yeah,
but
me neither. I haven't heard anything about that.
I will go back and look because I am very curious.
Right.
If that person, the person who just tagged me, if you could like DM me and let me know like the dates so I can narrow it down, because she's got so many charges on there, you know, to save me time going through all 44 of the items on there. If you could go back and tell me like what the number is or what the date is of that happened so I can see that, because I don't remember seeing that, but I am very interested in finding if that's true or not.
Yeah.
I would like to know if that's
I'd
true.
like to know too.
Yeah.
Especially with all the talking she's doing about people being
Thank
bad
you. Yes,
parents.
please email. Even if you just say, hey, if you go into like her criminal records or whatever, and you say, okay, on the side, on the right-hand side where it gives the date, if you could just tell me which one it is, I will look through all that stuff. Thank you. I appreciate that.
But you realize you did something bad that warrants the spanking, and they would say yes. And that's really kind of how I deal with YouTube as well, because I think they're children like my grandchildren. And so every now and again, I've got to bend them over my knee and let them know I don't want to fight with you.
What?
I don't want to do
What?
this. But you did something wrong. Let them, their children like my grandchildren. And they would say yes. And that's really kind of how I deal with YouTube as well, because I think they're children like my grandchildren. And so every now and again, I've got to bend them over my knee and let them know I don't want to fight with you. I don't want to do this. But you did something wrong and I need to spank you. So that's how I kind of deal with the whole YouTube thing. You know, I try to keep it classy. I don't like getting out in the gutter, but don't ever think that I'm above the gutter. I'll get right down in that gutter and work with you.
See, this is why I love being part of a community. This is why I love my chat. Like,
That's funny as
because
fuck.
this would have went totally under my radar.
Wow. Yeah, shout out to the person who sent you this timestamp. 'Cause
Yeah, I
I
think she
I
left
missed
like her
this.
real name. So I don't want to say it,
Okay, yeah, don't.
you know, because the email, it's whatever her personal email is. So I don't want to say it, but thank you for
Wow.
that.
Imagine how narcissistic you have to be to claim that she's an adult and everybody else is a child. And
Right.
that she wants to bend us over her knee. Girl, what?
Yeah, she's talking about everyone. Like her subs, people who talk about her, everyone.
I surely would. Like I said, the saying keeps popping in my head. Half holy, half hood. That means you can pray with me. Don't play with me. And I give you guys a lot of leeway to hang yourselves.
Okay.
Don't be crying like little babies.
Go ahead. I'll let you rant about that.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Okay.
When you finally get that spanking that you rightfully deserve.
Ooh la la, she wants to spank us now.
Why give her another chance to take her down?
You're kidding,
I'll tell you why, because YouTube is not going to take nobody down. They don't care. They're making money off of all y'all. I do not support her. Well, good. All I'm saying is don't come over here complaining to me about the crap that they do.
I mean, I actually kind of agree with that. There's a part of me that's just like, yeah, YouTube doesn't give a fuck, because like if they're generating revenue for them, the fuck, they're just gonna, like, it has to be something that's like they can't ignore, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
It's
that's
gonna
kind of
get
what happened with
somebody off.
Shani, is that it got so bad, like that stream that I was talking about. There were mandated reporters in our chats because we don't have morons in our chats, right? We have awesome
Right.
subscribers. And there were mandated reporters that watched the abuse, because there was child abuse and then animal abuse that was happening live on a live stream in front of everyone. And so, yeah, the mandated reporters are legally obligated to report it, which they did. And then at that point, next thing I know, I think it was like Business Insider did an article about YouTube monetizing abuse, like child abuse on camera.
We need more of that, man.
Yeah. And it was amazing. It was like the second that that YouTube was being criticized, saying, hey, you're monetizing child abuse on camera. Because this wasn't just like somebody saying something, or like with Bullhorn Betty, how she's like accusing Queen Bee of all this bullshit, right? This was like things that were happening in real time on camera. And so you can't deny that. It wasn't hearsay. It was you watching it unfortunately happen. And so at that point, YouTube took her channel down. She got 3 strikes within like an hour, and everything was gone. And I'm just like, it's unfortunate that it has to get to that level before YouTube finally steps in and says, okay, I'm not going to monetize this, you know?
I agree. I mean, like, I guess it's just, man, that's a long conversation, because it's also a slippery slope, because like if they start, you know, where's the line, you know, like,
oh, I totally agree. Yeah, I know what I mean, what you're going to say. Yeah.
Right. As far as terms of service, like which violation is worse than the other? You know what I mean?
Right.
I violate TOS all the time, you know, technically, just because I drop F-bombs, and, you know, and I say, you know, if somebody got raped, I say they got raped. You know what I mean? I don't go, they got hard. I just don't do that, because I just feel like I'm patronizing my chat, and it bothers me. Because I am like, we know, you know, But that's just me. That's just me. But you know, and if it comes to where they're like, you have to clean it up, then I'll be like, all right, I will. You know what I mean? But I don't want to censor myself. But then again, it's like, I don't know if, you know, I mean, because I would love there to be some sort of spectrum as to like what is, you know, punishable by, I mean, because the law works that way, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
I mean, I think
you get fined for some things and then you get like thrown in jail or put on death row for other things. You know what I mean?
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I do think that they have started to do that. Like with the new like cussing thing, they have said, you know, like the first 30 seconds or whatever of your stream,
Right.
that's when they're going to be like, okay, no cussing. But then after that, they seem to like be a little bit more relaxed, because if you notice when you go to monetize a stream, it used to be like if there was any cuss words at all, it was an automatic yellow. But now it's like, okay, so they do still put green on channels that where people are cussing. I don't understand the metrics, because it's incredibly inconsistent.
It is inconsistent because there's
And
times
YouTube is
like,
very inconsistent.
yeah, because even if I get a yellow, then I'll ask for a manual review. And then there's times where I even curse on those and then they'll approve it and then make it green.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, there are some streams that I have where you know, I'll review someone who is just F-bomb, 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 and those streams are green. And I'm like, I wasn't expecting that. And then there'll be other streams where I'll review somebody else where it's very light on the cuss words and it'll be yellow.
Right.
And they'll say it's because of cuss words. And I'm like, but there wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
who knows? Who knows? But yeah, YouTube is very inconsistent, which is why I don't trust YouTube wholly to do the right thing in a lot of these situations.
Yeah. Okay, so people are talking about Benny Keys got arrested. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how, I mean, I'm not speaking for Toast here, but
I don't give a shit.
I don't
honestly.
I don't care. I definitely
don't watch
care
him.
enough to cover it.
Yeah. Like, I don't watch
know what I
him,
mean?
so I have no idea. And I never really did watch him, so I don't know really much about him. And I don't know, like, I just don't know. And I don't really care enough to know, I guess.
Right. And I'm hearing like that it's coming from Dolly anyway. So already, even if it is
okay.
true, do I believe it?
I mean,
I
if
don't
you're one
I
of
don't
those,
care enough about it to believe it or not believe it either. You know what I mean?
again, check, like, that's a dubious source at best.
Right.
So if you do care about the subject, great. I would fact check anything that Dolly says.
Right.
Please.
well,
I mean,
put.
this is the same guy who spread around what he thought was my docs and said that it was accurate and correct. And then it obviously wasn't. So I'm just saying, like, just be careful.
Yeah. The cliff notes on everything Toast just said is Dolly's an idiot. Okay. So on that note, I will go ahead and wrap this up. Man, thank you for hanging out with me, especially as long as you did. It's a long stream. But I'm really grateful that you got to join me. I had a lot of fun as always. I always have fun with you on panel.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Anytime. You know, there's always an open invite here for you. But guys, I love you all very, very much. Toast, thank you so much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends.